1998 Calgary Stampeders may just change all that. This potent air attack features future Hall of Famer Alan Pitts, big play man Travis Moore, Mr. Clutch Vince Danielson, and the game breaker Terry Vaughn. The four horsemen of Calgary. They're reaching for history as the Stamps face the Roughriders on the CFL Live.
Everybody, welcome to the CFL Live. James Duthie along with Eric Tillman and Chris Schultz. On a Sunday when Mark McGuire hit 70, and you know, with Calgary's offense, a lot of people think they might hit 70 one of these days. Yes, the Stampeders may be the hardest team in the CFL to stop, but Taylor Field in Regina is the hardest place in this league to play. And so, Chris Schultz, the Stamps cannot get complacent today.
No, they can't, and they really should. I mean, it's a talented football team, and Saskatchewan's going to be on their home field. But Calgary's a team that's 2 wins away from first place. They have a relatively light competition schedule last 6 games. It's a football team that's been to the playoffs many times. In 6 years, they've only won the Grey Cup once after averaging 13 wins per year. That's outstanding. Still, they have to play well individually and collectively. In all likelihood, Eric, they're going to win the West. But still, they must play well, and they have to stay healthy.
Well, Chris, in Saskatchewan, the story is defense or lack of it. The Roughriders are either last or next to last in 16 of 25 defensive categories. And it's really pretty simple. If you can't stop people, you don't win football games. And the defense, James, is the reason that Saskatchewan is 3-9.
And Calgary is 3-0 against the Green Riders this season. But remember, the one time they did play at Taylor Field, the game went to overtime. So we could get another close one today. With more on the game, here is John Wells in Regina.
All right, guys, what the Saskatchewan Roughriders really have to hope for here today is that the weekend of upsets continues in the Canadian Football League, so the Riders can get back into the playoff race in the Western Division. With Winnipeg's victory over Montreal and the BC Lions winning over the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the Roughriders find themselves 2 points behind the BC Lions in the race for the final playoff spot in the Western Division of the Canadian Football League. So here's the way it looks right now with BC 4-9, Saskatchewan 3-9, and Winnipeg closing in on the Roughriders with a record of 2-11. So the Riders hoping that there are upsets here in the making this afternoon at Taylor Field. Well, I'm flying solo for the early portion of this football telecast. I hope my partner, number 27, look how cute he looked back in 1984, is going to make it up here for the opening kickoff. Glenn Suter was honored and inducted into the Saskatchewan Roughriders Plaza of Honor on Friday night. He's down on the football field right now, taking one more bow, and he'll be up for the opening kickoff.
A 4-time Western All-Star and 3-time All-Canadian. The man who put the ball on the tee for the kick to win the 1989 Grey Cup. Please welcome out of the TSN broadcast booth, safety number 27, Glenn Suter. Congratulations to our inductees and special thanks to SaskTel, proud sponsor of the Plaza of Honor.
All right, I want to see him run up those stairs to get to the booth in time. Go, Glenn, go! Kickoff is coming up next.
We've got a history, a way of making memories, a place you wanna be.
I'm Neil Lumsden, GM of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And I'm head coach Ron Lancaster. The CFL has teamed up with the Canadian Liver Foundation to launch the Touchdown for Tomorrow Hepatitis B Corporate Challenge. We are challenging Canadian companies to have their employees inoculated against this serious but preventable disease.
In Hamilton alone, the city of Hamilton, the region of Hamilton and Wentworth, and Fluke Transport have committed to inoculating their employees. What are you waiting for?
Be offensive, be radical, get immunized against hepatitis B.
I can see clearly now.
What you have is an insurance claim. What you really want at a time like this is help and understanding. At Royal and Sun Alliance Insurance, meeting your needs with 24-hour claim service is just forward thinking. Call for a Royal and Sun Alliance broker near you.
It is a picture-perfect afternoon for football at Taylor Field in Regina. The Riders are running out of excuses and desperate for a victory after 8 losses in the last 9 games. Look at this for a weather forecast today. 18, a slight breeze from the west, and everything is perfect for football on the CFL Live. Wally Buono should be feeling very good about his football team. He's won 3 in a row and has a playoff spot all locked up, leading the West by 2 games.
Jim Daly's desperately looking for a win this afternoon, especially when you consider the BC Lions won yesterday. They're in the fight for that last playoff spot and need this one this afternoon.
I'm glad you could make it up for the kickoff, partner. And congratulations on your induction of the Plaza of Honor. Well deserved.
Thank you.
We're all very happy for you here.
Thank you.
You did a wonderful job on Friday night.
It's been an unbelievable weekend, and I appreciate it.
Stampeders will receive the opening kickoff. They've won 3 in a row from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Coleman and Vaughn are back. McCallum has it on the tee. And to say the Roughriders are desperate for victory is a major understatement here today. This is Coleman. Nice return going here for Coleman. Out to the 40-yard line. He'll be cut down by McCallum, at least forced out of bounds. Starting lineups are brought to you by Midas Car Care, the way it should be. Jeff Garcia is having another all-star season, 18 touchdowns in 12 games. He has the best receiving core in the league. Vaughn, Pitts, and Danielson all have a shot at 1,000-yard seasons. So does his running back Kelvin Anderson. And up front, the O-line has been solid from start to finish.
50-yard line, 1st and 10.
So the Stampeders begin with excellent field position at their own 50-yard line. Garcia from the shotgun, faked it now, looks over the middle, he's on target. Alan Pitts has the first down of the afternoon, close to 15 yards on the game.
Defensively for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Andrew Stewart returns to the lineup in the front 4. They'll need some pressure out of him, no question about that. That means that Gary Rogers can go back to his natural linebacker position. And in the secondary, Mario Smith will play the safety, Vincent Donaldson a little dime, and Tyrell Ulmer will also play that halfback. Donaldson will be a key for the Saskatchewan defense this afternoon.
And defense has been the problem for the Roughriders all season long. 4 receivers to the near side for Garcia. He looked that way and got pressure. He's down. And so is a flag. Garcia got it away. Andrew Stewart was in his face, and Stewart missed 3 with a knee problem, is just back in the Saskatchewan lineup.
Well, it's important for Andrew Stewart to have a big game this afternoon. He's the veteran. He's got to get these.
Calgary number 7. Second down.
He has got to get this Saskatchewan defense fired up, and Saskatchewan will have to try and get pressure with just 4 or 3 this afternoon. Andrew Stewart will be a key to that.
Stewart with a couple of sacks on the season.
Absolutely, and they're going to need him to get after it, get after Jeff Garcia, get him off balance this afternoon.
2nd and 15, Garcia down again. That was Benson Donaldson. Halfback blitz. And a little salute.
Vincent Donaldson is going to play the dime position, will be matched up on Vince Danielson throughout the afternoon. But when he's down low because he's in the dime, that also means he'll have the opportunity to come on some secondary blitzes. And that time, he was clean off the edge. Garcia had no chance.
So the Rider defense comes up big on back-to-back plays, forcing Garcia to ground it and then getting to him. Martino has been punting brilliantly this season. Ulmer might have lost that one in the sun. It trickles into the end zone for a long single for the Calgary Stampeders. What a year Martino is having, averaging 49.2 yards a punt. That one traveled 65 yards for the single point. Up to the Rough Rider offense now. Saskatchewan quarterback Reggie Slack was running for his life last week in Calgary. He needs help from Thompson and Farthing and Mayfield, who caught just 4 passes between them last week. Mike Saunders is back after missing week 12. And up front, these guys have allowed way too many sacks, 37 in all, 4 last week. From the 35, Slack looks out near the 40-yard line. Narcisse makes it 193 games with at least 1 catch.
Second and 4.
Well, the Saskatchewan Roughriders have done one thing. They've got the ball back when they had to in the first series, because Calgary has started good in the last 3 games doing that. But then up front, it'll be Bronzell Miller with 7 sacks, who leads the way. Jason Clement starts in the linebacking core for Anthony McClanahan, who will miss his 2nd straight game.
The gain was 6, 2nd and 4. Slack lost the ball. Stampeders get it right back.
Ball carries the quarterback, Reggie Slack, fumble on the play.
Stephen Anderson was there to jump on the loose ball. Slack needing 4 yards, and he lost it.
Well, I just mentioned that series. This is the play right here. Reggie Slack's going to get hit. Penetration will nullify the option play, and that's what Calgary gets. They come up with the fumble. I was mentioning the drive. Calgary in the last 3 games have scored on their first drive, and of course they've won all 3. Saskatchewan stopped them, but now that they've given them the ball right back, it's just as good as your first drive.
Stampeders are set up inside the Saskatchewan 40-yard line. Garcia with 3 receivers to the wide side. It's Kelvin Anderson for a couple. He's near the 35, and he ran into Dwayne Patterson there.
Well, even though these 2 teams have played 3 times so far this season, this is the 4th and last. Dwayne Patterson, the former Calgary Stampeder, you know he's pumped up. He wants to have the big game, playing against his old teammates. And it doesn't matter if it's your first outing of the season or your last. You want to have a good game against the old coach and the old teammates.
The gain was 3, 2nd and 7. Stampeders set up at the Saskatchewan 35, 1-0. Calgary on top early in the opening quarter at Taylor Field. Garcia shotgun has Danielson. Danielson wrapped up by Donaldson, stopped short of a first down.
We talked about Vincent Donaldson. His assignment will be to cover number 88, Vince Danielson, all game long. Donaldson played safety last week, but you'll see these 2 tangle this afternoon more than once. We've just seen it here. Donaldson will also come on a couple of blitzes, but this is a key matchup in the game. Vince Danielson has had a ton of success with crossing patterns. Saskatchewan is asking Vincent Donaldson to eliminate them.
And he's much better in a halfback spot than he was playing safety, where he filled in after coming back from the injury.
Absolutely. He did a nice job at the safety position, no question, but Vincent Donaldson is a cover man. He's a good corner and a good cover defensive back, so they got to put him up there where he can be most effective.
Mark McLaughlin good on 24 of 36. This from 38. He's wide. Mayfield watches it sail for a single. So the Rough Riders dodge a couple of bullets early here. It could have been worse than 2-0 Calgary.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you could win $1 million if 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in today's game. Now there's a million more reasons to shop at Safeway, today's better way.
Woo! I actually got in.
You broke into personnel.
Yeah, these are salaries of every person in the company.
Look, this senior VP makes about half as much as this senior VP. I bet he doesn't know that.
Sure he does. I just emailed everybody in the company.
Yeah, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. I got soul. I got soul. I like it like that. Yo a ti te quiero. I like it like that. Hey, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that.
If you ask us, Canada, it just tastes better.
Psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff. Symptom, persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution, Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
Welcome back to Taylor Field in Regina, the CFL Live on TSN. Stamps on top by a couple. 2-0 is a lot better than what the Roughriders were staring at a moment or two ago. Wally Buono has that playoff spot already locked up. He's about a win away from locking up first place, really, the way the Eskimos are falling behind. They're 2 wins behind now after losing yesterday.
Yeah, win this afternoon really creates some different distance between them and Edmonton.
Here's Slack. He has Saunders. Nice move by Mike Saunders. Turns it into a first down. Alondra Johnson over to push him out of bounds. Saunders made the first down play happen.
Mike Saunders is back in the lineup. Of course, he missed last week with the knee injury when they played in Calgary, and he was dearly missed by this offense with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He needs to touch the ball 20 to 25 times in this game, both out of the backfield and as a receiver for the Saskatchewan Roughriders to have a chance to win.
13 yards for Saunders to get the Roughriders out across the 45-yard line. Saunders takes the handoff this time. Grabs about 5 more, maybe 6. Hard running against the Stampeders up front. Alondra Johnson was there on the tackle that time as well.
I asked Saunders about the knee injury before the game. He said it feels fine, but then when I watched him in warm-up, he looked like he favored it a little bit when he was running around and trying to do some backpedaling just to get loose. I'm not so sure that he's 100%, although he doesn't want anyone to know that. I guess I let the cat out of the bag.
Well, they know now, but they may not be watching down there on the bench. The gain was 7 at 2nd and 3. Saunders, another break, and another first down. Saunders breaks another one.
Sean Daniels. Yeah,
Sean Daniels.
That's right. Sean Daniels got the ball in the fullback option, but Saunders and his ability to run the football was why he had the big hole. Saunders goes out to the outside on the option. The defense has to respect it and stay wide. Daniels hits a crease right up the middle.
33rd carry of the season for Sean Daniels. Had a touchdown last week and really filled in for Saunders.
Backside, throwback.
Slack in trouble. There's a marker down, face masking likely the call, and this is definitely Saunders. Great opportunity inside the 10 for Mike Saunders. Jack Kellogg made the tackle. He's got 32 more yards. 2 flags back at the line.
Major foul, face mask, Calgary number 95, first down.
Jermaine Miles gets nailed on the face mask, but that was probably a little frustration because the front four of the Calgary Stampeders had no chance to get back there and get some pressure on Slack. This is late in the play, and you can see, obviously, the face mask call on Jermaine Miles. Slack had all day to throw on that pass and finally found Mike Saunders, picks up the big yardage, and then they'll tack on the penalty.
Half the distance to the goal line is added after Saunders was down inside the 10. So the Roughriders are set up in perfect shape right now. 3 cracks at it. Ball at the 3-yard line. Sean Daniels.
35 is Sean Daniels with the ball.
Daniels gets down to the 1.
Well, Sean Daniels is an important part when the Saskatchewan Roughriders want to run that option series. And what it is Slack, one way or the other along the line of scrimmage. He has a choice to run or pass. He fakes the handoff or gives it to Daniels. And Jim Daly knows that when they have the triple threat, the power with Daniels, the quickness with Saunders, and the running ability of Slack, makes it tough on defense.
6th play of this drive. It's 2nd and goal to go from the 1-yard line. And Saunders is across. Mike Saunders has the touchdown. The Riders have the lead. And it could be a fun afternoon at Taylor Field after all.
Well, they wanted to score first, and they've done that. First major of the football game. You get the crowd in it. That's the 13th player when you're here in Taylor Field.
Odds a little long for the Rough Riders against the Stampeders, who've really made very few errors in the last 3 weeks. Riders know they have to win today to keep pace with the BC Lions and stay in the playoff race in the West.
They also have to win just for themselves and their own confidence. I mean, this is a team that they've played 3 times already, haven't had a sniff in the 3 previous engagements, so they need to play well just for their self-confidence to say Calgary's the front runners in the West. In order to get to the Grey Cup and win it, we're going to have to go through Calgary. So let's go out there and play well this afternoon.
Great drive ends in a Saunders touchdown. McCallum will add to the Rough Rider total. And it's 7-2, Saskatchewan on top of Calgary. Saunders in from a yard away.
What does it mean to be a man? The best thing is to be a gentleman, and really gentle and really a man. Some guys think cursing is manly. I think it's manly to say yes, ma'am. And I feel like I have a mission in life. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is yet, but I know it's out there. And part of it's to be a good man, a gentle man.
Contradiction for Men, a new fragrance from Calvin Klein. At the Bay.
Suzuki introduces the all-new 5-passenger Grand Vitara V6. And to celebrate, we're giving TSN viewers a chance to drive one home. Send us your list of the top 6 race car drivers of all time to P.O. Box 220, Gormley, Ontario, L0H1G0. Or hit tsn.ca/Suzuki to enter online. Send us your top 6 for a chance to win a V6. The Grand Vitara and TSN have the power to take you to heights you've never explored before. The all-new Suzuki Grand Vitara V6. All you have to do is win one.
Potholes, alignment killers.
My car starts shaking, it's time for an alignment.
I hate that shimmying thing.
For $44.95, you can get a honkin' boutonniere or a Midas alignment special.
You get a computerized wheel alignment,
rotate and balance all 4 tires, and a free written brake inspection.
A bad alignment can really chew up your tires. This is merely a dramatization.
The mind, the body, and the car should all be aligned as one.
$44.95 for an alignment? That's a special occasion.
The scoring drive is brought to you by Chrysler Canada. We're not just building cars and trucks, we're building Canada. 6 plays to cover 75 yards. Mike Saunders, a big part of the entire story.
Yeah, absolutely. Saunders, very important part of this Rough Rider offense, and one of the things that the Calgary defense are definitely going to have to look at stopping. They want to win this game this afternoon.
McCallum's kick sails deep. Marvin Coleman returning for Calgary. Had a good one in the opening kickoff. He's at about the 36, stopped by Chris Zarka after a 26-yard return. Jeff Garcia, 9 wins and 2 losses against Saskatchewan so far.
For the Calgary Stampeders to win this game, they're going to have to get some pressure on Reggie Slack, and I mean all 4. One guy on one-on-one on Slack isn't going to do it. They got to collapse the pocket. We talked about how important Saunders is. They're going to have to contain him, and offensively, really don't change anything. They've been pretty awesome so far this season.
Particularly in the last 3 weeks. 2 wins over the Eskimos back-to-back and a big win over Saskatchewan last week in the rain at McMahon. Garcia to the shotgun. Far side has Pitts. Shannon Garrett forced him out. 11 yards is the gain.
Well, when you look at Alan Pitts and what he's done so far this season, he'll likely break 1,000 yards in this football game, and by midseason last year, we'll pass Ray Elgard, or next year, excuse me, we'll pass Ray Elgard for the all-time leader in yardage for a receiver.
2 touchdowns away from Brian Kelly's all-time record in the Canadian Football League of 95 touchdowns.
So when you add up all those stats and what Alan Pitts can do to you, you know that the Saskatchewan Roughrider defense will have to contain the inside receivers. We talked about Donaldson on Vince Danielson. Now someone will also have to be covering Alan Pitts. In fact, you might draw double coverage on a guy like Pitts, who, like you mentioned, John, 2 touchdowns away from Brian Kelly.
And interesting, he's catching Kelly in the same number of seasons that Brian played for the Eskimos. From the shotgun, Garcia on first down Just across the 45. It's a direct snap to Kelvin Anderson. And Anderson bulls his way for a first down. He's out to the 50, 13 yards there.
It's an effective play because the defensive linemen are looking at Jeff Garcia, and when he starts to move this way, Kelvin Anderson, who's right there behind him, will get the direct snap. So watch Garcia move to his right. That gets the defensive lineman influenced. The snap goes directly to Kelvin Anderson, and he finds a little bit of crease and is in the secondary.
Stampeders another first down. 3 receivers to the near side. Anderson has about 3. Donaldson moved up to make the tackle. Kelvin Anderson leading the CFL in touchdowns with 11 so far this season. 6 rushing, 5 receiving.
And out of the 6 rushing touchdowns he's scored, 4 have been against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He seems to have big games, especially when it comes to getting close to the end zone and punching it in when he plays against Saskatchewan. You see those 4 touchdowns, and in 3 games, almost 200 yards rushing.
On second down, Garcia to the shotgun. He has Terry Vaughn, and Vaughn is driven back after making the catch by Ken Benson. Markers fly.
Terry Vaughn was not happy about the treatment he received late in that play.
See if we can pick it up here.
Well, here's the end of the tackle. Ken Benson drives his head right down hard into the turf. Mario Smith, the free safety, came by to just let him know what was going on. Vaughn didn't like that. But they're going to call this one on Saskatchewan.
Unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan, number 22, if you were reading lips there. That's Mario Smith.
Well, that was the signal. I don't know if Mario Smith roughed Terry Vaughn. I know he did come in and taunt him, which is also a penalty. So either way, Wally Buono was looking at a big gain and a first down when he was held short.
It's a net of 19. Stampeders are set up inside the Saskatchewan 30. Garcia, the shotgun again, looks for it all. Danielson was the target. Ulmer was covering number 2.
Jeff Garcia, we talked about players having big games against Saskatchewan. Jeff Garcia's 3 best passing outings of the season have been against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. George Cortez, the offensive coordinator, works very closely with his starting quarterback to put together the game plan, and they've done a super job, especially when they're playing the green and white, because they're averaging close to 400 yards passing per game versus Saskatchewan.
Stamps are 3-0 against Saskatchewan thus far this year. Last meeting, unless they hook up in the playoffs. Garcia having second thoughts.
Yeah, there was a formation problem, John. I think when they broke the line, the Calgary Stampeders got up there and they had the wrong formation called for the play. So they hit the line. Alan Pitts and Vince Danielson were standing side by side on one side. When Pitts saw that, he started pointing. You see to the left of your screen right now, there's Danielson. He sees the formation, and he's got Pitts right beside him. That's incorrect. He tries to balance out there, get to the other side of the field. Jeff Garcia realizes he's not going to have time to get the snap off, and wisely calls a timeout.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, Stampeders. Rough Riders on top, 7-2. We're at Taylor Field on a beautiful afternoon. And Rider fans are getting into this, trying to make it a little more impossible for Jeff Garcia down there. Garcia looks to the end zone, and no one home. Travis Moore, who missed the last couple of games, is back in the lineup today, and he was the target, or at least the closest Stampeder, with Shannon Garrett covering.
And Travis Moore back in the lineup with the ankle injury, missed 2 weeks. And there's a lot of talking going on in that field right now. But you know what? That was a crucial series for the Calgary Stampeders, and not a great one, because not only did they have to burn a timeout, but now they're going to get a field goal out of this penalty. They were in the red zone. You want to come back with a major. So they burned their timeout, and now they're going to have to try and settle for a Mark McLaughlin field goal. Not a good series for Calgary early in this game.
And they had an opportunity earlier to hit the end zone and settle for another field goal. Here's McLaughlin. He's good from 35. Hit from 38 earlier, so it's missed from 38. So it's 7-5. Saskatchewan on top on the CFL line.
He's a visionary.
Close your eyes. Clear your mind.
He sees with vision.
Don't make the sub. Help the sub make itself.
He is wise in the ways of the sub.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Buy a Louisiana chicken special and you could win one of 3 trips to New Orleans for Mardi Gras or one of 100 Nikon cameras.
He says it's not a sandwich, it's a sub. Mr. Sub.
All week, your men gave you 100%. Make that 110. So tonight, you're taking them for a well-deserved night out. There's only one problem. You don't have the Dodge Ram Quad Cab. It's got 4 doors, a choice of 4 powerful engines, and plenty of room for up to 6 people.
I feel really close to you guys.
Now the most trusted name in winter boots goes to work. Made to take whatever the work could dish out. Sorel protects you better, lasts longer, and feels more comfortable. Get Sorel working for you, whether you're kicking in or just kicking back. Sorel, rugged, Canadian, original.
There's been a terrific start for the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense, and we look at the keys to victory today.
Yeah, the Riders are going to have to pressure Garcia with just 3 or 4 players. If you can drop 8 and 9 into coverage, Garcia will become impatient. You got to get pressure with just 3 or 4. Take advantage of some mistakes. Last week, 5 fumbles. The Riders only picked up 1. They got to get that done for them to win this afternoon.
Here's Slack looking deep for Saunders, and it's picked off. Darryl Hall.
Intercepted by Calgary.
Well, Darryl Hall does a nice job throughout the whole play. He jams early. That gives Saunders out of his pattern. Watch the jam right off the line of scrimmage. Darryl Hall, bang, right there. That stands up Mike Saunders. Now he has to regroup, turn around. That gives Hall a chance to get back and is in perfect position, turns around and plays the ball.
Second interception of the season for Darryl Hall. So the Stampeders get it back quickly. Beginning at the 39-yard line, first down. Garcia, play action fake. Now he looks deep. Moore was the target and overthrown by 6 or 7 yards.
That's where the ball's got to go. Jeff Garcia's read on that play. We talked about how important the inside receivers are to him. Saskatchewan's defensive game plan will be to try and take away those inside guys, which means we'll see Jeff Garcia go deep a lot more to the outside to Travis Moore and Terry Vaughn.
He aired that one out 65 yards.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to do that. Even if you're not going to complete the pass, stretch the defense. Let them know that you're going to attempt it and go deep. And that'll get them up back in their back pedal in a hurry.
2nd and 10. Garcia feeling the heat. Now escapes. He should have the first down. Took a pretty good hit. Rashovich coming up. Now they spot the ball back a little bit, so it'll be a 3rd down punting situation.
Dan Rashovich is very pumped up to be playing in this football game. He's getting the start at middle linebacker. Of course, we talked about them playing a little nickel, and Wally Bono knows a guy like Dan Rashovich in the lineup, who is a CFL veteran of many, many, many moons, 38 years old, gets to play special teams as well, but he's pumped up about playing some more defense here this afternoon.
Tony Martino, his first punt was a beauty for a 65-yard single. Ulmer inside the 10. Nice seam opening up for Terrell Ulmer. Ran into one of his blockers, actually, and then Alondra Johnson stopped at the 31.
Well, in typical Alondra Johnson fashion, he has been quite vocal throughout the week leading to this football game. He had an article in the Regina leader post that this was going to be another win for the Calgary Stampeders, pretty much guaranteed. Elijah Johnson making the big tackle on special teams because he is one of the few that can truly walk it like he talks it, no question, and he's been doing some talking. You saw him come up and do some walking there on that special teams tackle.
He's been involved already this afternoon on defense as well. A couple of key plays early in the opening quarter. Slack had his last pass intercepted, and he missed here. Thompson was the target.
Timing was off on that play a little bit. I think Reggie Slack wanted to throw it in like 3 steps, and Larry Thompson wasn't out of his break in 3 steps. So when Slack had to wait, Thompson ran out of room to the sideline.
Thompson just 2 catches for 15 yards last week. Dropped a couple. Dan Farthing struggled last week in Calgary too, with just 2 receptions for 17.
I should also mention that last week it was a little bit different weather situation.
Well, there was that factor involved, the driving rain. An opening for Mike Saunders. Oh. He's happy to be back out to the 50. Coleman makes the tackle. Another 18 for Mike Saunders.
Well, first of all, Mike Saunders wanted to get his lead offensive lineman, John Terry, out of the way initially as he hit the line of scrimmage because Terry was holding him up. But then once they got in the open field, Terry made a great block. Watch this. They're going to hit the line, and watch Mike Saunders get in behind John Terry, number 51. He can't get past him, but watch this late in the play. Terry will take out the safety to the right of your screen. And that gives a few more yards to Mike Saunders. So he hurt him early and helped him later.
From the shotgun, Slack on first down. He'll try and find a little himself. The opening closed up quite quickly, however, and the gain is limited to 3. Looked like a better idea when he started the run.
Yeah, Reggie Slack is very sharp this afternoon considering this. Reggie Slack did not practice this week. He had to go back to see his mother who was ill. He just got back on Friday, had a couple of reps in the walkthrough practice, so Reggie Slack really hasn't had any reps this week and has looked pretty sharp this afternoon.
He looks at 2nd and 7 now. Quick drop. No one open. Buying a little time as he looks to the far side. Narcisse made the catch. Was he in?
Well, he'll be short of the first down if he was in or out, and he had to come way back because the coverage from the Calgary secondary was awesome. All the way down the field. There's Coleman on Larry Thompson to your left. Darryl Hall on Dan Farthing, Jack Kellogg on Dan Farthing. Safety, Dave Van Bellingham right in the hip pocket of Curtis Mayfield. There's coverage all over the field. Narcisse had to come back about 30 yards to even give a chance to Reggie Slack to complete that pass.
Well short of the first down as McCallum goes in, averaging 39 yards a punt so far this season.
Boy, a lot of pressure always on the quarterback to throw the ball. They get the boos, but when you look at coverage like we just saw, that's not the quarterback's fault.
Coleman is the lone back deep for the Stampeders. Coleman. Nice little move there to buy an extra 12 or 15, maybe 20 yards. Coleman has 26 on the return, and it didn't look like there was much of an opening there when he began.
Boy, and you cannot coach that first move. You know, they always talk about great athletes. Kelvin Anderson comes to mind, and great running backs and runners with the football, returners like Marvin Coleman, and it's that first step when they get the football. You think to basketball, it's like Michael Jordan's first step. Everyone talks about how quick that is. The great ones have it, and they can make you miss right when they touch the rock. It's the first step to get you.
Riders on top by 2 at 7-5 at Taylor Field. Stampeders first down, play action fake Garcia. He had Danielson, and a great move by Shannon Garrett to get in front and knock it away.
Well, I don't think that Vince Danielson knew that Shannon Garrett was that close, because if he had known, he might have come back more to the football. Garrett was right behind him all the way across the field, and Vince Danielson takes a step back towards the line. He may have a shot. I don't think he knew he was there.
Good play by Shannon Garrett. And the Stampeders look at 2nd and 10. Shotgun for Garcia. 3 receivers near side. 1 a little early at the line. Moore moved early. Danielson made the catch. Flags everywhere.
Flag on the play.
Decision time for Saskatchewan here. You might think about declining this.
Offside. Calgary number 83. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Good call, Coach Wells. Yeah, no, that's what you do. You put them in 3rd and 5, and that means that they're going to have to punt the ball. Travis Moore right at the bottom of your screen, number 83. You see he's a good 1.5 yards over the line of scrimmage when that ball is snapped.
Tony Martino. 2 deep for Saskatchewan. Into the final few seconds of the opening quarter at Taylor Field. Mayfield returning for the Roughriders, and there wasn't much there. Well covered by Stampeders special teams. And that will be the end of the opening quarter, with the Roughriders playing well and holding on to a 2-point lead on CFL Live.
You're watching CFL Live, and we're at the quarter. Here's your host, James Duthie.
Welcome back, and woof woof. Yes, it has been the weekend of the underdog in the CFL. We had Winnipeg, we had BC, and hey, it's only a quarter here, but the dog biting again so far. Can Saskatchewan keep it up?
Well, you're not too sure. All the motivational speeches and all the pep talks on a team that's in 4th place whenever they play a team and that's in 1st place, that lasts a little while, but eventually the talent will take over. I mean, Calgary right now is struggling. They got to weather the storm a little bit. Saskatchewan is playing well, but what they have to do is maintain that attitude, maintain that emotion, maintain that little chip on their shoulder, because eventually the more talented teams do take over a football game. It's nice to see Saskatchewan playing well. How long they can sustain it, I don't know.
Well, it has been a good first quarter for the Riders, Chris, but as you say, Calgary is a very dangerous football team with an awful lot of weapons. Remember back in early September, Edmonton was in total control of the second game with the Stampeders. They roared back for 24 points in the last 20 minutes and won that one. So, again, don't bury Calgary just yet. They're a very explosive team, James.
Okay, and just a reminder, a guy who's built like a football player, Mark McGuire, capped off an unbelievable season today. Yes, he hit 2 more to reach 70 to finish the season, and stay tuned to TSN as we cover Mark McGuire's amazing day throughout the evening. Right now, back to John and the other immortalized guy, Glenn Suter.
Immortalized. I like that. He's on the Plaza of Honor, guys. We went out and looked at the memorial out there to Glenn Suter's outstanding career in the Canadian Football League. I don't know how long I have to keep blowing smoke for you here, partner.
No more. No more.
Right?
No more.
Oh, more.
No, I mean, it was a great weekend. It was a lot of fun.
I heard you were a little emotional on Friday night. My spies were at the dinner.
You know what? You get that way when you look at the history of the ball club and Roger Gorey and some of the other guys, and talk to some of the old guys and Holies and All Dags, and you start to think about, you know, the past and the rich tradition here in Saskatchewan.
Here you are, forever engraved. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Well, it's an honor, and
And you got another ring that you're going to flash around for the next 20 years? The Grey Cup of '89, I've seen that on every road trip for the last 5 seasons. And now there's a new one.
It's pretty nice. It was a tremendous honor.
Saunders actually tripping coming out on first down as we check out the numbers from the opening quarter.
Well, this is a big key right here for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, that they are winning the rushing battle. We talked about Mike Saunders and his important. Calgary has to stop him. Saskatchewan has to get him involved 20, 25 times. They've already got him involved.
That's one of the strengths of the Roughriders on offense, is the rushing game, second in the league overall when you add in Saunders and, of course, the numbers that Reggie Slack puts up along the ground. Slack has to put it up or get out of there. An opportunity for Slack, and he has the first down.
Oh, boy. You know what? That took some courage for Reggie Slack to get out there. He knew he was
I thought he was going to step out a yard or two earlier, but not Slack.
That's what I'm talking about. Right at the end of that play, Slack takes off. First of all, he breaks a tackle up front. This is Ray Jacobs right there. Can't arm tackle a guy like Reggie Slack. He's too strong. Now watch him get to the outside. Jack Kellogg had him lined up, and he stayed inbounds long enough to pick up the first.
So Slack makes it happen on second and long. Now the Riders are set up at the 35. Slack releases in a hurry on the out pattern. Narcisse out to make the catch.
He said it.
William Hampton for 5 yards.
He has said it many times. You just have to get the ball close to me, and I'll make sure I come up with a catch. Here he is right here, just going to run the out pattern and watch at the end of it, because the ball is way away from him to the sideline. But all you have to do is get it close. Well, that's close enough for Don Narcisse. He pulls it in and keeps that foot in bounds.
He was the leading receiver last week with 5 for 91 yards. 2nd and 5, Saskatchewan. Sean Daniels. And he'll be well short of the first down, a gain of 2.
Well, when you got 4 or 5 to go, Sean Daniels, that's a tough one. What you have to do then is, and what you're hoping is going to happen, is that the Calgary defense will get caught napping. They'll focus on Mike Saunders and play pass and forget a little bit about Daniels coming out of that backfield, and they weren't surprised that time. Calgary stuffs him.
McCallum is standing inside his 30-yard line. Stampeders send 2 back this time, Coleman and Vaughn. Big sound on that one. This is Terry Vaughn at the 15, slowed down, and he grabs about 6 after that. 13 on the return after a 53-yarder from McCallum. Garcia trots out again. He really hasn't had the Stampeders offense clicking on all cylinders yet. Good on 50% for 38 yards.
Well, that's been one of the trademarks of this Calgary team in 1998, is that they make great adjustments. Now, they've seen some different things from the Saskatchewan defense so far in the game. We talked about the attention that Pitts and Danielson were going to get. So now George Cortez and Garcia will have to look at that. They've seen a quarter of it. They'll start to make some more adjustments, and we'll start to see them do some other things, maybe go to the wideouts more.
Calgary begins at the Stampeder 28. Garcia behind the target. Alan Pitts, who's made a couple of catches early in this one.
Well, it was in the middle of the field, and I think Jeff Garcia just got a little worried about the fact that when you're in the middle, there's a lot of people flying around. You might not see one and he gets picked off. He had that happen to him against Montreal in Montreal. So this time he puts a little too much pepper on this pass. Pitts crosses right in the middle, and he just throws it hard and low. Pitts can't hang on.
2nd and 10, Stampeders. Saskatchewan on top by 2. We're early in the 2nd quarter at Taylor Field. Garcia wrapped up and dragged down. Ernie Brown should get credit for the sack, but Dwayne Patterson really slowed him down initially.
And it was a bit of a coverage sack, too, because Alan Pitts, who's standing right here to the right of your screen, is going to try and run a corner route. Because Shannon Garrett bubbles him to the outside like that, he runs out of room, and Garcia has to look to the other side of the field. And when he does, he doesn't have time to get it off.
They should really share that sack, don't you think?
Absolutely. Give them half each. The half sacks are out now. They don't get
They
half
don't
sacks.
count them anymore.
They make a decision now.
Patterson getting credit for it then. Martino's kick. Ulmer on the run. And he ran out of room along the sidelines. But the Riders get good field position. And the fans angry about something on the sidelines. We'll check it out when we return on CFL Live.
Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you have won VTEX 900 megahertz digital cordless telephone with visual name and number call waiting caller ID, featuring 50 caller ID memory, 20 number speed dial storage, and backlit keypad. Or a Samsung Haid hi-fi stereo camcorder with color viewfinder, 12 times optical power zoom, built-in lens cover, and remote control. Simply treasured for now and for always. Simply Samsung. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway Food and Drug today.
Potholes, alignment killers.
My car starts shaking. It's time for an alignment.
I hate that shimmying thing. For $44.95, you can get a honkin' boutonniere or a Midas alignment special.
You get a computerized wheel alignment,
rotate and balance all 4 tires,
and a free written brake inspection. A bad alignment can really chew up your tires. This is merely a dramatization.
the mind, the body, and the car should all be aligned as one.
$44.95 for an alignment? That's a special occasion.
Everybody needs a minivan from Chrysler.
CFL Live on TSN is brought to you by the Cake Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends. See you tonight.
Here at Taylor Field for the final game of Week 13, it's critical to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and quarterback Reggie Slack knows that all too well. The Riders with just 3 wins and 9 losses thus far.
Well, they're winning the first down battle, no question about it so far in this game. 8 yards on first down is tremendous for your offense. Jim Daly would love to see that continue, simply because that puts you in second and real short. You can do a whole lot different things out of your playbook when you get that situation.
Saskatchewan set up at their own 54-yard line. Saunders makes the catch, more than halfway to a first down, and Markers flies rolled out by Hampton.
Well, with the tempers flaring and a lot of talking going on the sideline, I think the refs are awful quick to throw the flag for that second push.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Calgary number 4, first down.
They're right near the sideline there. Darryl Hall got the extra push on that sideline, and when the tempers are already pretty flared up and guys are talking back and forth, if you get close to the sideline or the second man in on a tackle, you're going to get flagged in a hurry. Trying to get control of this game right off the top so that things don't get out of hand. There's the Hampton. See, Saunders was out of bounds, and Hall gets a little push.
So it's a net 23 for the Roughriders, set up inside the Stampeders 35-yard line with a 2-point lead. Good opportunity to get some points here. Daniels carries again. He's been a little busier than normal here this afternoon. Talked about his touchdown last week and the rain in Calgary.
Well, Sean Daniels is not known really for carrying the football, but he will on occasion, especially close to the goal line. He's already got it 4 times, which is well over his average.
Absolutely. Couple of touchdowns on the season for Sean Daniels. 3 yards in the previous play, 2nd and 7 Saskatchewan. Slack with time, looks for a wide open touchdown toss. Larry Thompson needed that one. His first on his return to the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
There have been 5 other receivers in that spot. Larry Thompson is the 6th and has really solidified the receiving corps for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He's a veteran who recognized blitz on the play and knew he had the one-on-one. He's known for his toughness over the middle, but Larry Thompson can also throw some moves on the defensive back and get in behind you.
15th catch as a Rough Rider this time around, and Thompson has the Rough Riders feeling much more comfortable, but there's a long way to go. Slack to Thompson. It's good for 6, and the Riders on top, 14-5.
This sports break is brought to you by Sorel, rugged Canadian original footwear.
Back to Taylor Field in a moment. Right now, some baseball news. And just in case you missed it, earlier today, live here on TSN, we caught all of Mark McGuire's at-bats against the Montreal Expos. McGuire had 68 home runs going into today.
Now the 1-1. Into left field. Back at the track at the wall. Historic number 69. In third, 2 out. Number 70! How much more can you give us, Big Mac? Number
70! What a season for Mark McGuire. Incidentally, Sammy Sosa has not homered as Cubs and Astros tied at 3.
The worst part of an asthma attack is feeling helpless. So last year, we showed over 100,000 Canadians how to use their prescribed medications correctly to help them manage this disease. So if you have asthma, talk to us. We can help.
Quite a year for Larry Thompson. He was in BC last year, went to Edmonton as a free agent, was traded to Winnipeg, played 5 games there, ended up in Saskatchewan, has a touchdown to put the Riders on top, 14-5.
Well, I think back to that Darrell Hall penalty, got that big 15-yard game for Saskatchewan, and then Larry Thompson got in behind Eddie Davis for the touchdown.
On the kickoff return, it's Coleman again. Good run for Coleman as he's finally forced down on the far side. Paul McCallum was there to slow him down. Kickers are getting involved.
A little bit of a different formation. That's Larry Thompson. He came out of the backfield this play and then was on the fly when he hit the line of scrimmage. Reggie Slack rolls away from the play and then throws back. And by that time, Larry Thompson well in behind Eddie Davis. A little bit of a different formation for him. He lines up as a running back, comes out and just hits the line of scrimmage on the run.
Garcia will try and respond to a couple of Saskatchewan touchdowns. Stampeders beginning at the 38. Garcia far side on target has Terry Vaughn. And that should be a Stampeder first down. No markers anywhere. Eric Sutton made the tackle. Gain is 12.
Calgary Stampeders really just have to get back to what they do best. The little passes to Terry Vaughn to the outside. Let him do some things on his own once he catches the football. Get Calvin Anderson back involved out of the running game and in the passing game a little bit. And then throw the ball maybe a little bit to the other side to Travis Moore. Just do some of the things that they've done and had success throughout the season.
Garcia's shotgun on first down. Had to hurry the throw. And we'll get a first down out of the play to Kelvin Anderson.
We talked about the courage of Reggie Slack early in the game, and it takes courage to stand in there that extra second. Jeff Garcia did it on the last play. He had pressure all around him, and he hung in there. First of all, one-handed catch out of the shotgun, and then he's looking downfield, had to hold it. He knew he was going to get hit by Ernie Brown, but he said, that's okay, I'll take the hit as long as I can make the completion, and Kelvin Anderson hangs on.
Travis Moore flanked to the near side, just out of your picture. Another Calgary first down. Garcia runs the option. Anderson couldn't find the handle, and he might have gotten it back. Ulmer had a great opportunity, but Kelvin Anderson made the play and got back to the football. Well, minus 14, though.
John, we talked about the keys for Saskatchewan to win would be to take advantage of the mistakes that the Calgary Stampeders will make. Every team, as good, no matter how good you are, you're going to make a few mistakes in the game. Kelvin Anderson is going to miss this toss right here, drop the ball, and then get a little bit lazy getting it back. Tyrell Ulmer beats him to the football on the recovery, but then as he's trying to scoop it up, turns and gives it right back to Kelvin Anderson. He gets a little bit lucky, but Saskatchewan doesn't take advantage of a miscue by the Calgary Stampeders.
2nd and 23 facing Garcia now. He's got to put it up, swings it ahead for Anderson. Rasevich over to make the stop. Nice yardage, but well short of the first down.
Well, 15 seasons, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Dan Rasevich has been part of this club for 12 of them, and off and on throughout different times of his career. He was told coming into training camp that he would be a backup and play special teams. In fact, he would be the special teams captain. He didn't have a problem with that, but due to some injuries, he gets a chance to play this afternoon, and Jim Daly knows he's a veteran and will take care of business.
Tony Martino at his 50. Mayfield and Ulmer deep for the Roughriders. And this one is coming down to Curtis Mayfield over his head and sailing through. Riders will give up one more. And one more to the Stampeder total. Saskatchewan on top. 14-6. It's CFL Live from Taylor Field.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win, and you could win $1 million or a 27-inch Zenith color television. A Business Navigator personal organizer from Casio. The Minolta Dimage Pit digital camera. Corning's Revere Pro Line cookware. Or win a vacation trip for two to the Villas Vallarta Hotel via Air Transat, courtesy of World of Vacations, Canada's #1 tour operator to the sun. Look for Nabob Coffee, Kraft Spaghetti Dinners. Now there's a million more reasons to shop at Safeway, today's better way.
Boycott Spyro. Boycott Spyro. Sure, he looks like an innocent dragon, but he breathes fire. He's napalm on 4 scaly legs. And he headbutts. Just look what he did to me. Barbecue. Ow! What'd you do that for?
PlayStation.
CFL football is one tough game. Touch football is one fun game. Football Canada and Football Ontario invite you to have some fun. Join one of the many adult touch football leagues across Canada. The Canadian Football League, along with Molson Canadians, support their efforts. Call Football Canada or Football Ontario and get in the game.
CFL Live on TSN is brought to you in part by Midas Car Care, the way it should be.
Would this guy in the blue hat look pretty good in green and white?
Corey Philpott is on the practice roster for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He got the call last week when Mike Saunders was hurt. A bit of his insurance policy for Saskatchewan, but they'd love to get both of them in the lineup and may do that next week.
Slack on first down. Can't find a receiver open. And now look for Mayfield. It was batted away by Jack Kellogg. Flags are down.
Pass interference, illegal contact.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Calgary number 21. First down.
William Hampton got nailed.
Here's Ray Morrison.
Thanks, John. One of the names that the Riders hope to get in the lineup very shortly is Corey Philpott, a 5-year running back with the BC Lions, released earlier. And Corey, what's your status here with the football club now?
Well, the status is looking good. You know, I basically came in and learned the offense, and I got the offense down. So next week we're looking forward to going out there and playing and getting back into it.
So as far as Daniels, Sanders, and yourself, that's got to look like a pretty impressive backfield for opposing defenses to look at.
Oh, definitely. You know, they said they're going to use us as a combination. They're just trying to work it out where we can get both in. So I think it's going to work out well.
Let's go back to John Wells.
Eddie Davis pleading his case down there after tight coverage on Mayfield.
May have got there just a little bit early on Curtis Mayfield and will likely draw the interference call, although there was a little pushing both ways. Mayfield is right up here. It's going to break to the out. Little pushing off from Mayfield, little grab from Eddie Davis. Just a matter of which one the official saw. But, you know, go back
to
29. Saw 29. You go back to that Corey Philpott, though, you know, I mean, he's a running back that's had a lot of time to rest and heal up. He must have a tremendous burst. He always did, but I definitely think he can help the Saskatchewan running game.
Loose ball. Saunders had it pop away. Stampeders have it. And a chance. Oh, Hampton is dragged down from behind. Looked like he was going all the way, and Slack came back to make the tackle and save a touchdown.
I believe it was Jeff Traversy that hits Mike Saunders in the hole squarely on the football. Mike Saunders cuts back, and it was Ray Jacobs, 84, not Traversy, 94, but Jacobs with the big hit, helmet right on the ball, and Hampton comes up with the fumble. You tell defensive players, if you can tackle the football, that means throw your shoulder and head in there into the body, but also see where that football is and try and get a helmet on that, and Ray Jacobs hit it perfectly.
Riders have turned it over 3 times. This one could be costly. The Stampeders set up inside the 45. Garcia had nowhere to go. Looked like he had a little room out there, and then Andrew Stewart closed in on him, number 93 in green and white.
Good secondary contain from Gary Rogers, number 41. Andrew Stewart got pressure up the middle. It was 41 Gary Rogers who made Jeff Garcia turn it up. We talked about Rogers in the introductions, got to go back to his linebacker spot. All season, he was hurt. He came back, and when he did, he was a defensive lineman. Now he's back where he's more comfortable at linebacker.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13, Calgary. Saskatchewan 45. Garcia bobbled it and then still had time to throw it. It was short and picked off by Saskatchewan. McMillan got the rebound. Todd McMillan has his 2nd interception of the season. So the last turnover by the Roughriders doesn't cost anything.
Well, Todd McMillan's going to go thank Benson Donaldson for not having great hands on the play, because Donaldson closes perfectly on Vince Danielson and really makes the play. Garcia's trying to get it out to the corner pattern to Danielson. He is open when he throws the football, but look how quickly Donaldson closes. Has the ball right in his hands. It pops out. Todd McMillan right there to pick up the tip. They work on it. It's called tip drill. All practice long, and Todd McMillan picks up one off Donaldson's miss.
As mentioned, his 2nd interception could prove very important in this football afternoon. 5:09 to halftime. Riders have it back. More heat on Slack, and he fired a little high for Don Narcisse coming back to try and help the quarterback out.
Well, he had to throw the ball. We talked about sometimes there's great coverage downfield, and that allows a sack to happen. Well, that time Slack was dodging defensive linemen the whole play and had to rush it, because if he could have held on to the ball a split second longer, Reggie Slack would have saw that Danielson was wide open to the outside of the field and could have still been running.
2nd and 10 for Slack and the Roughriders. Saskatchewan on top, 14-6. Saunders takes an inside screen and turns it into a wonderful run. Here's Mike Saunders. It's Zarka, I'm sorry, number 33. They slipped him in for Saunders, 32.
It was a perfectly executed play, and one that I'm sure the Calgary defense haven't seen all year. Mike Saunders is going to disappear from the formation. That will pull Alondra Johnson, who is right here, out of the formation. Now watch how Saunders goes to the right of your screen. There goes 51, Alondra Johnson. That takes the middle linebacker out, and with the middle linebacker out of the play, you can take off running with the football from the fullback position. Well executed play by Saskatchewan.
44 yards for Zarka. Slack has another strike. Down to the 25. It's Curtis Mayfield. Wrapped up by Darryl Hall. Mayfield's first catch today.
A bit of a forgotten man versus Calgary last week, and they really need Mayfield to have a big game, because historically Curtis Mayfield has played well against the Calgary Stampeders. 3 games this year, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns, most of those coming in the first 2 they played against each other. So I want to get Mayfield back on track.
From the 25, Sean Daniels tries the right side, and the Roughriders are on a roll. Cal Murphy's offense is moving right along this afternoon.
Well, that little fullback screen to Chris Zarka was definitely probably the making of Cal Murphy, the offensive coordinator.
3-minute warning at Taylor Field in Regina. It's the CFL Live with the Riders on top, 14-6, and a chance to add a couple more here.
You expect to drive your Toyota for a long time, but servicing is key. Some mechanics know a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but a little bit of knowledge can be a dangerous thing. Only Toyota Quality Service guarantees the work is done right by the time promised at the price quoted. They've even put their name on it. Just look for this Quality Service pledge only at your Toyota retailer.
Toyota Quality Service, the one to trust.
Potholes, alignment killers.
My car starts shaking. It's time for an alignment.
I hate that shimmying thing.
For $44.95, you can get a honkin' boutonniere or a Midas alignment special.
You get a computerized wheel alignment.
Rotate and balance all 4 tires. And a free written brake inspection. A bad alignment can really chew up your tires. This is merely a dramatization.
The mind, the body, and the car should all be aligned as one.
$44.95 for an alignment? That's a special occasion.
3 minutes to go till halftime. Saskatchewan on top of the Stampeders, 14-6. Rider offense has been on a nice little roll here today.
Yeah, Cal Murphy throwing some wrinkles into this offensive game plan for the Calgary Stampeders. It's tough when you play a team 4 times during the year to really throw in anything different, but when you start to read those defenses, see some tendencies, and obviously Cal Murphy saw that Alondra Johnson in certain situations will go out of the formation to cover Mike Saunders, and if you can do that and throw that fullback screen to Zarka, and it worked to perfection.
Duthie, Tillman, and Schultz are warming up back at CFL Live Control. They'll recap the week, look at this game, and there's been lots to talk about in the CFL. Couple of upsets already this weekend. This one would loom rather large if the Roughriders were to keep this thing rolling today. Play action fake. Slack missed Zarka that time.
A little out of the reach for Chris Zarka to come up with that catch. Reggie Slack again, though. Slack's keeping that Calgary defense off balance. 5 plays in this drive. They put together some nice drives in this game, and we've talked about the first down production for Saskatchewan earlier in the game, and they are having success on first down, and that helps you offensively in a big way.
Riders are 2nd and 10 at the Stampeder 13. Play action fake again. Slack trying to get it away. The heat is on, and he had to fire it out of bounds. So the Riders will have to settle for a McCallum field goal try.
Well, a heads-up play to get that one out of bounds by Reggie Slack, because he had tons of pressure. Ray Jacobs was in his face. They're coming after him on this one. They're not biting on that play action this time. See Steve Anderson getting some pressure and keeps working. He's got good strength, but he's not going to stop both of them. So wise decision to throw that away.
2:35 to go till halftime. First try for Paul McCallum, good on 20 of 28, 71% of his field goals. The longest from 52. This will be spotted at the 21. Sarkisian is the holder. McCallum dead center. Saskatchewan on top, 17-6. More than a few surprised people here at Taylor Field today, including Wally Buono, I'm sure.
Well, you think back to that game, and I know Eric Tillman was talking about it already, that Calgary was way behind Edmonton in the second half of the Labor Day Classic, and he really ripped the team at halftime, was tired of the penalties, was tired of losing that second half of the back-to-back games, and ripped his team. They responded, they came back, and won that football game in a big way. Be interesting to hear what Wally Buono says to the boys at halftime in this one.
17-6 is not a very comfortable lead against the Calgary Stampeders with a whole half ahead of us. Garcia has Bond. McMillan wrestled him down, and a marker goes down.
Well, this is what Jeff Garcia has done in the first half. Doesn't have a touchdown to show for half a play. They've had to punt the ball 5 times. Of course, he threw the 1 interception to Todd
Major
McMillan.
foul, face mask. Saskatchewan number 16, first down.
Shannon Garrett got spotted there.
And you know, you talk about that Calgary offense. They also dodged a bullet. The Calvin Anderson fumble. Here's the penalty to Shannon Garrett. He's fighting on the sideline. I don't know. Put his hand on the face mask.
Tough to see from that replay, but
well, they were both in there. Todd McMillan likely had the face mask, and they just gave Shannon Garrett credit for it.
Yeah, that's just what he needs.
Yeah.
Garcia on first down. Alan Pitts was the target. Valiant effort. Shannon Garrett was covering.
Well, Jeff Garcia had time to throw the football and had to throw it to the outside, but he definitely got nice time up front. Dwayne Patterson gets pushed out by Rocco Romano. Andrew Stewart can't get any pressure on him, and the ball is long gone. That one just a little bit too far for Alan Pitts to catch up with it.
2nd and 10, key play for the Stampeders. 2:21 to go till halftime. 3 receivers on each side for Garcia to choose from. Goes into the middle, and tight coverage in there. Danielson was the target. Mario Smith, number 22.
Really 2 parts to the play, John. Ron Meyer, first of all, the offensive lineman for the Calgary Stampeders, picked up the blitz from Vincent Donaldson.
Major foul, roughing the passer, number 23.
That'll keep the drive alive.
Well, you're going to see the penalty first. Here comes the pass from Jeff Garcia. He throws it and then gets hit to the ground hard by the newcomer, Paul Spicer. That's going to draw the penalty. Garcia wants that one called and gets it called, and here's the defensive play at the other end, which now will not make any difference because of the penalty.
Stampeders first down inside the Saskatchewan 40. Garcia eludes the pressure, finds Danielson. He lost the ball. Saskatchewan may get it right back. It's Ulmer coming up with a football. I remember when you used to do the double flips, just like that.
You know, if I tried that, I'd do it once, and that would be it.
At your age, you better not try it now.
No shot. But you know, we talked again about the keys for Saskatchewan. Take advantage of any mistake that the Calgary Stampeders may make in the game. Garcia is flushed a bit to his right. No problem delivering this pass, though. And a hard hit from Vincent Donaldson, who's been really involved in this game early. Gets that ball out of there. Tyrell Ulmer comes up with the recovery. Vincent Donaldson was going to be the key this afternoon, and already he's making an impact.
Riders have dodged a couple of bullets here so far today and have the lead at 17-6. 2:09 till halftime. Narcisse to the near side for the quarterback, Reggie Slack. Throws under the cover to Dan Farthing. Nice run by Farthing on his first catch of the day. Now the Riders want a penalty called.
Good call by formation for Saskatchewan, because with their motion, you see Farthing going this way and Danielson going the other. Jack Kellogg, number 3, can't get through all the mix, the linebacking core and everybody else in there. That leaves Farthing open to the outside. Cal Murphy's had a great game plan so far offensively. Now it's just a matter of going in at halftime and continuing to make adjustments.
16 yards picked up by the Riders. Slack trying to buy time again and just got it away. No one home. He fired that one out of bounds. But there was heat from the very start of the sequence.
Did he cross the line? A lot of pressure coming from up high here. Danielson comes down to try and get a block. See that one-on-one with Steve Anderson. He gets to the outside, fights past that block and is right there, and the official got involved a little bit in trying to stop Slack on that one.
2nd and 10, Saskatchewan from the 46-yard line. 1:56 till halftime. Draw play. Sean Daniels has about 3. Darrell Hall comes up to make a solid stop. Mike Saunders, the ball carrier, I should say.
Well, Mike Saunders is going to get to know Darrell Hall, because Mike Saunders went deep early in the game. Darrell Hall came up with the interception. Mike Saunders tries to run the draw play, and Darrell Hall comes up with the big tackle to hold him well short. That will be a battle that we'll keep our eye on, because that's 2 tremendous athletes, both veterans. And you know that Mike Saunders will want to try and come back and make amends in the second half.
McCallum is in, standing at his 35. Coleman and Vaughn deep. Terry Vaughn for a 12-yard return. Mike Moore wrapped him up. Sports Desk coming your way, 11:30 Eastern tonight. We'll count all the home runs in the great race there. What a year.
Well, how many times does Mark McGuire have to fight off challenges? I mean, it was tons of pressure all year to just beat the record, and then he's had to hold off Sammy Sosa the whole time. That's been fun to watch, and I'm not a real big baseball fan, but I've been glued.
From the shotgun on first down, Garcia near side has Alan Pitts. Coverage by Garrett, and the gain is 11.
Alan Pitts, you know, will open up sometime in this football game. I don't care if you're double covering him, triple covering him or whatever you're doing, somehow Alan Pitts will find a way to get open. Shannon Garrett so far has held his own against Pitts, and he's had a little help from linebackers inside, but you can't hold him forever.
Third catch for Pitts. He has 37 yards, closing in on 1,000 for the season. Garcia. Kelvin Anderson. Good move to turn it into about an 8-yard gain with 1:15 on the clock. Wally Buono with back-to-back wins over the Eskimos prior to beating Saskatchewan last week, and that doesn't happen for the Calgary Stampeders very often, that you win on Labor Day and then win up in Edmonton as well.
You know, when you talk to Wally Buono about his football team, you can ask him, you guys are doing pretty well. You come in 9-3, leading the West. You go, yeah, we've got a lot of things. He'll give you a list of 10 things they got to work on.
Garcia on 2nd and 2. It'll be a first down Calgary. Danielson the catch far side.
They're yelling. You may have heard them yelling, fire, fire on the sideline. Doesn't mean that there's an actual fire going on the bench over there. What that means is Wally Buono wants to get them into the hurry-up offense so they can try and come away with some points and maybe get some momentum back before they go in at halftime.
Another Stampeder first down just shy of the 50-yard line. 1:01 till halftime. Garcia far side. As Pitts again. Ulmer was there.
Alan Pitts will make a living out of running to the post. That's why it's tough to cover that pattern right there, because you have to stay inside position on him. He catches that one to the outside.
Alan Pitts closing in on milestones every time he catches the football. Garcia faked it once and now has Kelvin Anderson. Second player in CFL history is Alan Pitts with 12,000 yards receiving.
12,000 yards and still going strong. I mean, there are no signs of Alan Pitts tiring or aging.
Garcia behind the target, flag down far side. Vince Danielson was the closest Stampeder receiver to the football. And 36 seconds till halftime. Did the Riders move a little early?
We're about to find out right here.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 98. Still first down.
Ooh.
Ex-Stampeder Dwayne Patterson.
Dwayne Patterson got a little bit excited about his pass rush up here at the top of your screen. Ooh, very close. Very close, but just a knee in that neutral zone.
Ball at the 41, 1st and 5. Garcia got some pressure and got it away to Travis Moore. He'll have the first down. His first catch inside the 35. 27 seconds.
Well, Travis Moore got such a great start to the season. He had 4 touchdowns right out of the gate in a row, and a couple of them were game winners in the dying seconds of football games. He came into camp in tremendous shape and just had some bad luck with the ankle injury in the Edmonton game. And boy, George Cortez and Wally Buono definitely very happy to get him back. And Saskatchewan on the other sideline certainly don't want to see this.
Benson Donaldson, the injured player.
Yeah, we talked about the impact that he's made in the first half and the fact that the game plan was to have him matched up on Vince Danielson and try and take away some of those crossing patterns with Donaldson's great coverage. And they definitely don't want to see him on the ground. Now, he has to come out for 3 plays, even if he's winded. That gives Vince Danielson some chance to go after him. This was a key matchup coming into this one game. Vince Danielson versus Vincent Donaldson. That was the key. Donaldson would be lined up. If Danielson went to the stands to get a hot dog, Donaldson was supposed to get the mustard.
Vincent Donaldson missed 9 games at the start of the season, and he really had to work hard to get back into the Saskatchewan Roughrider lineup.
Yeah, he did. I mean, they put Mario Smith in at the safety, and Eric Sutton and Todd McMillan were playing the corners and playing quite well, so there was some question as to where they would get Vincent Donaldson back into the lineup. He's the type of player that you can't keep out of it when he's healthy, but you got to find him a spot, and it looks like the dime may be it. Here's a look at what happened to Vincent Donaldson. tried to make the tackle, and he flung around, really got twisted in there. Went down hard on the turf. The abdominal injuries we've seen throughout the league, and I hope that that's not one of them, because it looked like his stomach really got twisted around.
22 seconds till halftime. First down, Stampeders. Garcia dancing around back there and fired high. Travis Moore was the intended receiver.
Yeah, they were looking to Moore, but Moore was the secondary read on the play for Jeff Garcia, because he originally wanted to go to Alan Pitts down the sideline. Alan Pitts was going to try and do the out and up, but look where Shannon Garrett is standing. Deep, couple-yard cushion. No way Jeff Garcia could get the ball there, so he had to go the other side to Travis Moore.
2nd and 10. Stampeders at the 35. 15 seconds till halftime. Garcia has Moore, and Moore is wrapped up immediately. Ball squirted loose, but the whistle had gone, I do believe. Eric Sutton thought maybe there were 6 available, as in points.
Well, 2 things from a Saskatchewan defensive perspective. What you want to do here with the clock ticking down, you want to hold Travis Moore up. Here's the end of the play. Now he's going to catch this ball. You almost want him to just dance around a little bit, corral him, but don't tackle him initially. Possibly the clock runs out. Now, does that ball come out before he comes down? I don't know. It's tough to see, but it looked like he may have been on the ground first. The officials were right on the spot and called it that way.
And the whistles had gone before the ball was picked up by Sutton. So the Stampeders, with 6 seconds on the clock, will settle for a Mark McLaughlin field goal try. This from 37. He's 1-1 so far today. And he's 2 for 3 now with a 37-yarder, hitting on 35 and 37. So the Stampeders scramble back, but the Roughriders have a little lead heading to the dressing room at halftime. It's Hall of Fame weekend at Saskatchewan, and the Roughriders very seldom lose this game.
You're watching CFL Live on TSN. And we're at the half, brought to you by Health Watch, only at Shoppers Drug Mart. Now here's your host, James Duthie.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the halftime show. Duthie, Schultz, and Tillman here. And I tell you, not unusual for Calgary to score 5 times in the half, but not this way. 3 singles and 2 field goals for this offense. Great job by the Saskatchewan defense. Great job on both sides of the ball, Chris.
Both sides of the ball, and even this whole weekend has been like that, where the teams anticipated to win have not, and we have another situation where we may have an upset. And I think what's nice about this is that this game has been more on good Saskatchewan play rather than self-destructive play by Calgary. And you got to look at Reggie Slack. He's had a good, solid first half. He buys time differently than other quarterbacks. He moves very concisely in the pocket, or if he has a defensive lineman on his shoulders, you know what he does? He just shrugs him off because he's physically strong. He can take the punishment. He can buy that extra time. If I'm Jim Daly, I'm going in confident, but I'll tell you what, I'm telling you guys, we have to win the first 2 series in the 3rd quarter because of Calgary's ability to get points quickly. That'll be one of the keys I'm looking for anyway, Eric.
Well, Calgary's very, very fortunate, Chris, to be down just by 8 points. And I think in the second half, the key for them is going to be first down efficiency. It seems the whole first half they were always in second and long. And when you're in that situation, the defense completely controls the tempo. They've got to make positive yards on first down. If they don't, it just put too much pressure on Jeff Garcia.
All right, thanks, guys. 17-9 at the half. Time for a break now, but as we leave you, more of the festivities from this special weekend in Regina, the Plaza of Honor inductions.
Glenn Suter was a player who worked as hard as he could to make himself as good as he could, and was a fine representative of the game. Today, he continues on in that vein as he impacts greatly on the image of the CFL from the broadcast booth. Glenn, Reggie and I are pleased to be the ones to officially welcome you into the Plaza of Honor.
Baker gets a good high kick away to Blood at his 30. And they give it off to Stiegel on the reverse. Look out! Here comes Stiegel around the corner. Stiegel across midfield. Still going. Still going. Gone! Touchdown, Winnipeg! On second down, Calvillo looking for outside. He's got it. race, and Armstrong's gone. Touchdown, 98 yards.
You ever seen so many big plays in one half?
Blood from the 15. Uh-oh, here he comes the other way. Blood. Can you believe it? Touchdown.
Kerwin Bell going up top early. Nigel Williams has the ball. Touchdown. Mark Tolbert in the Eskimos line up, and Archer gets away from O'Shea into the end zone. Touchdown, Don Blair.
How about that grab by Darren Flutie? And Greg Mons finally gets his first win in BC, and I guess his first win as a head coach in almost 2 decades. And you guys have been saying all year long that BC has the talent. Eric, they finally put it together.
Yeah, they did. And why did BC win last night? I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, they rushed for over 200 yards, and Hamilton rushed for only 40. Secondly, turnovers. Danny Mack had 5 interceptions. And thirdly, special teams. Ron Lancaster said after the game it was as bad as he had ever seen them play as far as special teams. Nice game for Damon Allen, and a nice win for the BC Lions.
All right, Winnipeg's upset on Friday night. Chris, you were there. They acted like they'd won the Grey Cup.
Oh, I mean, after the game, it was an amazing scene. About 5,000 people came on the field. They lifted Jeff Reinbold on the shoulders. It was as if they won the Grey Cup, and everything was happy in Winnipeg. And I'll tell you, it was the game of big plays. There were 7 plays for 40+, and maybe Montreal was caught flat because they had a short work week. But you know what? Full credit to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I thought they ran the football extremely effectively when they had to. A sign of a pretty good team is when you run the ball and everyone knows you have to run the ball. So I give credit for Millington bouncing back, playing the way we had anticipated him, and a good offensive line game from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Glenn Suter's got to be mad at you. You get 1 game in the booth and you get a great game like that one.
Yeah.
Edmonton, Toronto. It looked like Kerwin Bell and Daryl Mitchell were just playing catch last night.
Yeah, and it was a big win for the Argos, last night, and a big win because of the East Division race, but even a sweeter win for Kerwin Bell. In 1995, Kerwin led the Edmonton Eskimos to a 13-5 record, yet that wasn't good enough for the Edmonton fans. They basically booed him out of town. Well, last night, he threw for 500 yards, and I think that's a good way to silence your critics.
Makes it easy when you have a guy like Mookie. Let's have one more look at Daryl Mitchell's unbelievable evening. Yes, 16 for 220. That's a season for some guys. Not a great season, but you get the point. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Jeff Giles, president of the Canadian Football League.
Hi, I'm Paul Masadi, wide receiver of the Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts.
The CFL has been built on the philosophy of safety first. That's why we've joined forces with the Canadian Liver Foundation to raise awareness about hepatitis B and to ensure that all our players are immunized against this serious but preventable disease.
Anybody can catch hepatitis B, but the good news is it can be prevented.
Be offensive, be radical, get immunized against hepatitis B.
Hey guys, looking for the definitive automotive symbol of your undeniable virility? Have we got a machine for you? Everybody needs a minivan from Chrysler. The worst part of an asthma attack is feeling helpless. So last year, we showed over 100,000 Canadians how to use their prescribed medications correctly to help them manage this disease. So if you have asthma, talk to us. We can help.
It's the way we welcome the sun with 35 sunblock. The way some of the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise and like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to take better care of themselves. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to go for a swim. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
Welcome back. Well, we're still trying to decide what's the bigger story this weekend. McGuire, Suter. McGuire, Suter. McGuire, Suter. Glenn, congrats. Inducted into the Plaza of Honor in Saskatchewan this weekend. But I still think the greatest accomplishment of your career was getting up those stairs from the field to the booth in time for the start of the game today.
Absolutely. I mean, when I look back on my 40 times, they used to say it was forever. So I made it up here pretty quick. I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Glenn, Eric, you played all 11 years in one of the great football communities in this country. How special was that for you to be a Rough Rider for all 11 years?
Eric, I really think that's what makes it. I mean, when you look at how the province treats its football team, how much they care about this football team, it makes it that much more special that I had the opportunity to be here for the full 11 years of my career. You know, it sort of has sunk in a little bit over this last weekend, and I feel just fortunate that I was part of the great tradition of this football team, and that tradition is built because of the fans here, and they really are the 13th player on the field and the front runners across the country when you're talking about fan support.
Glenn, Chris here. I could ask you a lot about the players you played with and the coaches you played up in memories, but you know what impresses me is 194 football games. I played with Don Moen, and he had 198. Why didn't you go for 200?
Well, I got a better offer, and this job is a lot of fun, too. Actually, you know what, Chris, when I look back on it, that 194-game streak is something I'm very proud of, simply because I wasn't a real flashy player, and we already talked about my 40 time, so you know I wasn't real quick, but I like the fact that I was always reliable, and my teammates knew that game in and game out I was going to be there, so I'm real proud of that.
All right, congratulations once again, Glenn. Now get back to work.
Yeah, I got to get back here. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you.
Congrats.
All right, it's time for a break now, and time for you to get out and see a CFL game. You might even catch a glimpse of Glenn Suter. Here are the numbers in your area.
I want somebody who doesn't need me. Somebody who really wants me, but doesn't need me. Desire's about what you want, not what you need.
Contradiction from Men, a new fragrance from Calvin Klein. At the Bay.
Potholes, alignment killers.
My car starts shaking, it's time for an alignment.
I hate that shimmying thing. For $44.95, you can get a honkin' boutonniere or a Midas alignment special.
You get a computerized wheel alignment, rotate and balance all 4 tires, and a free written brake inspection. A bad alignment can really chew up your tires. This is merely a dramatization.
The mind, the body, and the car should all be aligned as one.
$44.95 for an alignment? That's a special occasion.
The Fall Wood Pro sale from Stihl. Save right now on selected Stihl chainsaws starting at just $299.95 and get a Wood Pro kit valued at over $75 absolutely free. Stihl, built to last, priced to sell.
This sports break is brought to you by Comfort Inns and Hotels. Something for everyone, practically everywhere.
Welcome to the TSN Newsroom, everyone. I'm Gino Retta. What a day it has been on this, the final day of regular season play in Major League Baseball. We saw Mark McGuire hit his 69th and 70th home run of the season. The National League wild card race has been unbelievable. The Giants and the Cubbies dead even going into the final day of play. 3-3 tie, Cubs 11th inning. Astros with runners on first and third. Richard Hidalgo fly ball to left field. Carl Everett was on third. Tags, scores. Astros win 4-3. Looks brutal for the Cubbies. However, let's check out the Giants and Rockies. 8-8, bottom of the ninth. Nefi Perez, a solo home run to right field. And with that, the Rockies defeat the Giants 9-8. And with that, the Giants and Cubbies in a one-game playoff to be played tomorrow. And you can see that here on TSN.
And welcome back to Taylor Field in Regina. Great first half on this Plaza of Honor weekend. And the second half is now underway. For the Stampeder kickoff, Ulmer returning for Saskatchewan. He's out near the 45 and surrounded there. Here are the numbers from the opening half. 243 yards net for the Roughriders compared to 136 for the Stampeders, and that has to be a bit of a surprise.
And they're staying close in the time of possession, which is very important for Saskatchewan to keep Jeff Garcia and this potent offense off the field. Reggie Slack has put some good drives together and done a nice job of maintaining them. He's had some success on first down and mixing things up nice. But now the question is, who made the best halftime adjustments?
It's an 8-point ball game with Saskatchewan on top, 17-9. First and 10 Roughriders from the 40. Farthing made the catch, and a pretty good one, too. Eddie Davis had him wrapped up. Slack air attack is brought to you by Sorrell.
Look at that. Lots of throws to the right side of the field, and of course that's where Don Narcisse and Curtis Mayfield usually line up. And Reggie Slack's favorite targets throughout the season. Don Narcisse having a great year.
He really is. Slack got it away in a hurry, looking for Mayfield, slanting in. He just about made a terrific play.
Well, if he catches it, he's gone. Really, the old Calgary defense completely overrun the play. Here's Mayfield just going to run the slant in here, and watch how the Calgary defenders overrun it. Gets a little seam there. Eddie Davis runs right past it, and had he caught that, it's one-on-one against Dave Van Bellingham in the open field.
McCallum steps in for Saskatchewan. Taken by Coleman and knocked down immediately. A 7-yard return after a 40-yard punt. It's the CFL Live from Taylor Field, Regina.
Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you have won the Minolta Dimagepik digital still camera with built-in flash, 1.8-inch color LCD monitor, and 64-image storage. A great way to break into the world of digital photography. Dimagepik from Minolta. It's great fun. Or a set of Revere Pro Line cookware from Corning. Designed for durability and a lifetime of use. Retains moisture, flavor, and nutrients while cooking. Corningware, a balance of practicality and performance. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway Food and Drug today.
Most new car radiators are made of aluminum as thin as this sheet, which makes them vulnerable to corrosion. Each year, 400,000 aluminum radiators pit, corrode, and fail. You need a zone of protection between you and a breakdown, the Prestone Zone. Prestone is specially made to bond with aluminum, and no other antifreeze protects your whole cooling system better against corrosion and temperature extremes. Protect your car in the Prestone Zone.
It's got to get there. Yes!
Go FedEx.
Saskatchewan Roughriders have been honoring the great ones for 10 years now. The Plaza of Honor dinner on the weekend added these 3 names: Roger Goree, Glenn Suter, and Johnny Red Bell. And Glenn Suter has Roger Goree between us. Your new best friend, Suits. Obviously, you guys have enjoyed this weekend.
You don't have to know Roger Goree very long to know how great of a guy he is, and he was a tremendous player. This has been quite a weekend, hasn't it?
It's just tremendous. My family has enjoyed it. I brought everybody says I brought everybody up from Texas, but just my immediate family's from Texas. I've got some Mississippi and Louisiana people there, along with some Minnesota.
the Riders are playing well. They're playing hard. They need to go ahead and score about 40 more points and close the coffin on these guys.
Roger, you played in the 70s, and of course you've answered a lot of questions about the 76 game. And I mean, the fans still remember, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. They're wonderful fans here. I enjoyed playing in front of them and for them. But that's one of the things that, you know, haunts you all the time is, you know, 23 seconds left to go and there's a 40-yard pass and it's all over with. But, hey, there was a lot that led up to that. And, you know, it was a great game. But, hey, that's why they call it a game.
It's nice when you get back here, though, and you sort of feel the tradition. I know I was getting the butterflies up on stage there. I mean, how did you feel about it? It's amazing, the tradition in this ball club.
It's just tremendous. You know, you've got a bunch of guys out here that are all trying to come together as a group and play as one. The dinner on Friday night was just outstanding. I had a chance to walk out on the field right before game, and the hair stands up on the back of your neck, and you get chill bumps all over, and kind of wonder right now, you know, if you got 3 plays left in you.
Vince Danielson makes a catch. He's short of the first down for the Calgary Stampeders. You know, I was around this town when Roger Goree was playing for the Roughriders back in the days when there were a lot of great guys through that era. Bill Baker was around. And
Baker and Lancaster.
Lancaster, I do remember him.
Yeah.
George Reed ran a ball or two into the end zone in this ballpark. This is second down for Garcia. He needs 3. He'll get it from Danielson. That'll be a first down. Benson Donaldson covering on Vince Danielson.
Roger, you know, I always want to ask this question with the guys from the past, and you were in the 70s. You've talked to a lot of the players. We're in the locker room. Have you noticed any difference in their attitudes or the difference in the game since you played?
The game is a lot the same, but yet it's different. There's a lot more finesse type stuff where you've got, you know, everybody coming to one side in motion or everybody going, you know, toward the line of scrimmage in motion. The guys seem to be, you know, giving it their best shot. They just need to make a couple breaks and capitalize on them.
Here's a big play for the Stampeders as Kelvin Anderson gets down to the 35-yard line on first down. 19 yards to gain. The Stampeders move in close, and McMillan made the tackle here.
Great play by Kelvin Anderson because he comes from the wideout position and is on the fly across. That's why he's not picked up in coverage. He was kind of hidden out to the outside. He opens up over the middle and then makes something happen on his own.
Direct snap to Kelvin Anderson. They used that earlier. Ken Benson wrapped him up there.
We talked about some of the guys that Roger Goree played with, George Reed being one of them, and of course he's the leader in touchdowns. Alan Pitts trying to catch him, and there's a few back.
Closing in on Brian Kelly, 2 back. Heading into this afternoon, and it's a long way from over at Taylor Field with 10:48 to go in the third quarter. Stampeders are down, but threatening here inside the 30. It's Garcia taking it himself. He'll come close to a first down, and he's nailed there by Mario Smith. Let's see where they spot the ball. It is a first down, Calgary, so the drive continues.
Mario Smith said in the paper this week that he wants to be an impact player on this defense. He's lined up at the safety position, and he gets about a 20-yard run before he finishes it off right there on Jeff Garcia with a huge hit, and Garcia is still shaky. Garcia is still down on one knee.
He's taken some big hits this season, Jeff Garcia.
And he's going to the smelling salts.
We'll take a quick break at Taylor Field while they take care of Stampeder quarterback Jeff Garcia. It's 17-9 Saskatchewan.
No one can match their numbers. No one else has the tools to keep your Toyota running its absolute best. For the finest care, see only your Toyota retailer. Toyota Quality Service, the one to trust.
This is one of the most amazing things in the world. You can cut it, shape it, fasten it together, make just about anything you want out of it, and be really proud of what you've done. At Home Building Centers, we buy big, with more stores providing building supplies to people all across Canada. No matter how big a job you're facing, we can help you handle it. Home Building Centers, we've got your lumber.
Do you savor those extra 10 minutes of sleep every morning? Well, sleep in, because there's someone already making breakfast for you. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Back live at Taylor Field, Jeff Garcia, the Calgary starter, heads to the sidelines. Dave Dickinson will be in. This is our location at Taylor Field. Roger Gorey in between John Wells and Glenn Suter, and we congratulate you on your honor over the weekend. And I'm glad you had a terrific time coming back to Saskatchewan, Roger.
Hey, it's been a tremendous time. The fans and the people are great here still. We just need to get a win today, and I think everything will turn around. They're playing hard. They just got to make some breaks and capitalize on them.
Here's Dickinson going for 6, and he's about 6 feet too far for the intended target, Terry Vaughn.
Thanks, Roger. It was a pleasure. It's been a fun weekend. I really enjoyed it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good to see you, Roger. So when the Stampeders have to go to their backup quarterback, they don't really worry about it too much. This guy would be a starter on about 5 other teams in the Canadian Football League, would he not?
Well, one of them will be a starter on another team next year, but for now they have a great situation in Calgary with 2 guys that can definitely get it done.
Dickinson on 2nd and 10 under the cover. He has Vaughn. Vaughn escapes, has a first down, and he's nailed at the 5, still going. He's down to about the 4-yard line, 17 yards for Terry Vaughn.
Unbelievable that Terry Vaughn shook the first hit from Dan Razovich. Terry Vaughn got pounded in the middle. That's as hard as you can hit a guy. Dan Razovich is going to line him up. Bam, right there. Snap his head back. He breaks that tackle and then breaks a couple more before he's finally pulled down. Talk about second effort. Well, that was 3rd, 4th, and 5th effort.
This is the 9th play of the drive. 1st and goal to go. Stampeders at the Roughrider 5. It's Saskatchewan on top. Calgary looks to the end zone. Alan Pitts couldn't bring it in. Shannon Garrett has had a pretty good day against Alan Pitts.
If you can hold Alan Pitts to like under 100 yards and no touchdowns, you're having a great day. And Shannon Garrett is holding his own. Pitts open behind him in the end zone, gets his hand up, perfect timing, turns around back to the football so he doesn't get the pass interference call, and Dickinson knows he had him open in behind in the back of the end zone. He's going to wish Shannon Garrett isn't around as often as he has been.
Another crack at it for the Stampeders from the Saskatchewan 5. It's 2nd and goal to go from there. Dickinson had it batted down. Benson Donaldson has had a whale of a ball game.
All-out blitz from Saskatchewan on Dave Dickinson. They're sending everyone. Benson, Rogers, Donaldson, they're all coming. Gary Rogers is a guy who gets up and gets his hand on the football, but that is all-out blitz, and Alan Pitts was open over the middle. When you blitz like that, it's a gamble. You got to get there and get home before he can deliver the football.
12-yard field goal try for Mark McLaughlin. Good on 2 of 3 so far. Stampeders have to settle for another field goal attempt. It's been that kind of a day for Calgary. McLaughlin nails it. So the Stampeders creep a little closer. It's now a 5-point ball game. On the Stampeder bench, the starter, Jeff Garcia. And here's what happened to number 7.
He got hit hard by Mario Smith from the safety position. Mario Smith had a huge run to get up here, and I think what happened when he gets hit at the end there, his helmet gets jammed down over his nose because he immediately reached to the top of his nose. Mario Smith comes up with the big play. We had Roger Goree up here at the time, and when he hit him, Roger Goree looked like he was going to hit one of us. He got pretty excited about it. It was a huge hit, and boy, Garcia has taken a ton of those kind of hits throughout this season and keeps bouncing back. You think back to game one when Mike Philbrick put 6-7 stitches in his chin. Then Leroy Blue in the Edmonton series put another few stitches on the other side of that chin, and now he's got to have a few on his nose. I mean, Garcia is one tough customer.
Let's bring in Ray Morrison with the latest on the injuries.
All right, well, we have a couple of injuries down here, John. They're taking a look at Vince Danielson's knee, and we're not exactly sure what the problem is. Pat Clayton, one of the trainers here at the Stampeder bench, couldn't elaborate on that quite yet, but he is up, and it looks like he may go back in. And they're also saying with regards to quarterback Jeff Garcia, his nose may be broken, but it looks like he's going to go back in and give it another try.
Wow. I mean, we talk about toughness. That's old school kind of stuff. You got a broken nose, hey, it's a long way from your heart. Get back in there.
He's a tough guy. There's no question. Garcia's a tough cookie. Thompson on the return for 12. Numbers on Jeff Garcia, 20 of 30 for 178. Was intercepted once. And Danielson being attended to at the Stampeder bench. It doesn't look like he's going to be back in a hurry.
It's a game for Warriors, no question about it. I mean, look at these guys. There's bandages and blood all over each sideline. Vince Danielson, who's had great success versus Saskatchewan on the sideline with ice taped to his knee. The guy who's been covering him, Vincent Donaldson, is having breathing problems. It looks like he's got bruised ribs. We talked about Garcia's nose. It's a war out there.
And it's first down, Saskatchewan. Reggie Slack has a wide open target. It's Don Narcisse out to the 50. William Hampton made the stop, but Narcisse has 24 more.
It's a good throw by Reggie Slack because he's rolling full to his right, throws back against the grain. Slack is on the full run after the fake to Saunders, and he has to throw it back across his body and put it right in the hole. Jack Kellogg and Clement can't get out there, and it's a big gain. And after he throws this ball, Garcia will say hello to Ray Jacobs.
It's War at Taylor Field. First down, Saskatchewan. They keep it on the ground. Mike Saunders. Darryl Hall, they've met a time or two today.
Yeah, that's been another matchup. That's been a great battle. Darryl Hall has had some plays. Mike Saunders made a couple of plays early in the game. Hall has the interception and stopped him on a second down play. And boy, they've been nose to nose all football game.
Gain is 5. Riders looking at 2nd and 5 more necessary right at midfield. Cal Murphy's offense has been rolling along this afternoon. Slack has looked very effective from the start of this football afternoon. Standing up again, Slack goes deep and 5 yards too far for Curtis Mayfield.
Those are the ones that Reggie Slack will remember tomorrow, because Mayfield was not only in behind the coverage from the halfback Jack Kellogg, but Slack also caught the safety Dave Van Bellingham up too tight. Here's the end of the play. You see how number 89 Curtis Mayfield is in behind Jack Kellogg. Now Kellogg is expecting Van Bellingham to help him deep. Van Bellingham got caught shallow. Mayfield got behind both of them, but Slack couldn't just get it on the money.
Coleman is back. McCallum is ready to kick for Saskatchewan from his 40. 6:19 to go, third quarter. A great one at Taylor Field. Saskatchewan on top by 5. A boomer here away from Coleman. He's over to the far side to make the catch. And Rasevich, the Saskatchewan special team's tackling leader, has another one. 47-yard punt, 10 on the return. A great one here.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win. If your name appears, you won a fabulous trip for 2 to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Villas Vallarta Hotel and fly Air Transat, all courtesy of World of Vacations, Canada's #1 tour operator to the sun. $1 million touchdown to win at Safeway Food and Drug. Your favorite CFL team now has their logo on your favorite credit card. It's the CFL MasterCard credit card. Support your team and take advantage of the benefits that over 346 million MasterCard cardholders worldwide are enjoying. Each stylized card has your team's logo on it. So support your team 12 months a year and pull out your card. Call 1-877-4CFL now for your CFL MasterCard credit card. When you pay with us, you play with us. Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win for your chance to win $1 million. Participating products include Sunkist, not from concentrate juice, Bix Pickles, Green Giant vegetables. Now there's a million more reasons to shop at Safeway, today's better way.
CFL Live from Taylor Field in Regina. Riders on top by 5. Long way to go in a great football afternoon here. Jeff Garcia's on the sidelines. Dave Dickinson at the controls for the Calgary Stampeders. Hitting on 72% of his passes. Closing in on 1,000 yards, and the guy doesn't get to play very much.
Yeah, he's a surgeon out there. He's not real mobile, but he can buy time with a little bit of quick feet. And he can get it done. We talked about Jeff Garcia coming on the field. He wants to play. There's blood all over his jersey, all over that towel. But apparently the training staff have talked him out of going back in, at least not at this point anyway.
That'll all come out with a little Tide.
Yeah, they need a lot of Tide. Maybe a little bleach in there. Stampeders on first down. Dickinson near side, missed his man. He was looking for Dwayne Ford, number 34. You know, and I think it's a wise move. I mean, we talked about how capable Dave Dickinson is. Leave him in the football game. You got your nose broke. You're on the sideline. You may be able to get past the pain, and that's what Jeff Garcia is talking to the training staff about. I can get past the pain. What they're concerned about in the Calgary sideline is that you may be able to, but your nose will start to swell up even more, and it'll be tough to breathe. And once you start running around back there, it makes it harder to breathe. You lose your breath, and then it makes it a lot tougher to execute the plays. 2nd and 10, and it took too long. Alan Pitts was a little anxious and offside. Well, it's twofold. Pitts was thinking that they were going to just run the play call. He's just taken off towards the line of scrimmage. But George Cortez wanted Dave Dickinson.
Calgary number 18. Still second down.
Cortez wanted Dave Dickinson to audible. The Saskatchewan defense were moving around. Pitts thought it was going to be the play called from the huddle and started taking off and had to get back because Dickinson wanted to get into an audible situation. This place is a little noisy now. 2nd and 15, Calgary. Dickinson shotgun. Swings it back the other way. It's Kelvin Anderson. Whoa! Mario Smith has had a ball game, number 22. That's at least 3. And the big hit prior to that put Garcia out of the game. He's been on the Ticat practice roster. Spent a little bit of last year in Baltimore and Buffalo. He is a hitter. He's coming from all the way from free safety. Listen to this. Anderson didn't even look like it affected him the way he jumped up there, but it did. No, that's what you got to do. If you're on offense, hey, that didn't hurt me. No, that didn't hurt. Oh. Loose ball. Saskatchewan has recovered. Dwayne Patterson, an ex-Calgary Stampeder, heading to the sidelines with a prize. It was a direct snap again to Calvin Anderson out of the shotgun formation. Once he has the ball, he hits it up in there, and this time he just flat out drops it. Tackle was made there on the play by Ernie Brown, but Ernie Brown, I don't think, got his hand on the football. Calvin Anderson just dropped it. Saskatchewan comes up with it. Anderson was feeling the effect of the previous play, quite likely. Remember when he jumped up so quickly? And don't underestimate what that can do. When you get your bell rung a little bit, get a little dizzy, it's harder to hang on to the football. Riders have a great chance here from the 37. It's first down. Slack going for it all. He's got Mayfield, and he tried to go over the back of Eddie Davis. Well, Eddie Davis has had not a great football game to this point. He recovers there and makes a huge play, but he has put together 4 big games in a row. There's Eddie Davis on the coverage. He gets beat initially, but then really makes up some ground and then gets his body turned around in time to knock that ball down and not get the pass interference call. Coming into this game, he had 3 sacks, 12 knockdowns, and a couple interceptions in 4 games.
Second and 10, Saskatchewan. Slack shotgun. Now a little quarterback draw. And he's across the 30. But they'll come up short of the first down, 6 yards for Slack.
Yeah, and when you look at the big picture of this game now, right now, that has got to be a victory for the Calgary defense and for the Stampeder team. I mean, you get the turnover for Saskatchewan's point of view. Cal Murphy knows you have to come up with a major. If you can do that, you really pick up a lot of momentum in the football game. That, right now, you'd register that. Even if Saskatchewan comes up with a field goal from McCallum, register that one as a Calgary victory.
Paul McCallum, 1 for 1 so far. 2 for 2. As he hits from 37. 3 more to the Rider total. It's an 8-point game, and Wally Buono's Stampeders are on the wrong end of a 20-12 score.
Yeah, but it could have been much worse. Wally Buono knows it. He's had a couple of fumbles that he's dodged some bullets. Now he knows that he's got a chance to stay in this football game, and he's got enough talent on the field, and with Dave Dickinson at quarterback, he's not worried about that.
Hang in, lots more football ahead on the network today. Prime time tonight coming your way, 7:30 Eastern time. Cincinnati and Baltimore will follow that. The kickoff is 8:15. Over 26,000 on hand at Taylor Field. The Riders hanging on to the lead at this point. Dickinson is in, and Garcia on the sidelines. Vaughn makes the catch from Dave Dickinson. Todd McMillan made the tackle.
Well, you know, when you talk about game planning for 2 quarterbacks, it is tougher, although when you talk about Calgary, they're both similar in style. Maybe not similar in character as quarterbacks, but they're both drop-back type guys. Dickinson will like to stay in the pocket a little longer than Jeff Garcia, try and find that second and third receiver, but they're both drop-back passers.
9 yards in the previous play. This is 2nd and 1, Calgary. Some early movement down there, but no flags, and we'll have to wait till they unpile that to figure out if it is a first down or not.
Well, as well as Saskatchewan has played in this game, a drive here from the Calgary Stampeders really closes the gap in the score, and then Jim Daly will have to start to wonder, will my guys start to doubt themselves? We have not beat Calgary and Wally Buono all season in 3 tries. Now, if Calgary can come close in this drive and this early before the game will to end, will they start to doubt themselves on that green sideline?
It is a first down for the Stampeders, but just the numbers thus far between these 2 teams. It was Calgary and Owak on August 7th, August 13th, and September 18th, although that score flatters Calgary a little bit in the last game because Saskatchewan was a little closer until Calgary exploded late in the game, but definitely was a Stampeder win. There was no doubt about that. First downs for the Stampeders, 18. And this won't be another one. Kelvin Anderson wrapped up.
Well, Anderson and Dave Dickinson were fighting over that one. Mario Smith comes up with another tackle, but the timing wasn't quite right on that shotgun snap. Yeah, I mean, here, watch the shotgun snap back to Dave Dickinson, and Kelvin Anderson gets there a little close. Dickinson thought he might have to catch that one, so the timing isn't quite right. You're not going to.
It almost looked like an interception in the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
2nd and 7. Early movement, flags down, and it's whistled dead. That was Paul Spicer, number 90, the newcomer, who got an early start for Saskatchewan there. He arrived and signed this week, played a little with the Seattle Seahawks, and they've really had a lot of new faces on the defensive line for Saskatchewan.
Outside, Saskatchewan number 90, still 2nd down.
10 different defensive linemen, and Spicer's at the top of your screen. They like his get off. They think he can get upfield and get pressure. One concern that the Rider coaching staff had on Paul Spicer was, would he fatigue late in the ball game? When you get tired late, you start to make mental mistakes.
2nd and 2. Stampeders just shy of midfield. Shovel pass for Kelvin Anderson. He'll take the first down, and he's dropped at about the 50.
Pass is good to Calvin Anderson.
When you start to get tired, and Paul Spicer's never played in the CFL before, and it's 20 seconds between plays here, Paul Spicer's coming in and just doesn't have that extra burst to hit Dave Dickinson. Watch, he gets up there, just quite get there in time. He gets the ball off to Kelvin Anderson.
Stampscred grabs 7 more. First down Calgary at the Saskatchewan 50. It's 20-12. Riders on top. 3rd quarter. Dickinson got heat, but got it away. He's got Alan Pitts, and that'll be another first down with a great move on McMillan, and Pitts gets inside the 30. 21 yards for Alan Pitts.
I'm not sure how Dave Dickinson got Pitts the ball. He's going to run the crossing route. He's up here, and he's going to come right across the middle, but there's a lot of traffic in there, and Dave Dickinson really had no sight line. He had to kind of jump and throw the ball over the pile. And then some pretty good moves in the open field by Alan Pitts.
Pitts is now 2 yards shy of 1,000 again. Should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Flags down. So is Dickinson. Dwayne Patterson had him wrapped up. We'll check out the infraction.
There was tons of movement up front. It's a matter of who drew who and who got back in time.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 72. Repeat first down.
That's Colin Scribner. Just getting back into the lineup after an injury last week.
Colin Scribner is right here. We'll take a look and see. Well, no question about it. He's definitely takes off and is in the neutral zone when that ball is snapped.
So from the 25, 1st and 5 for the Stampeders. 6 receivers in for Dickinson. He has Anderson sliding out of the backfield, and he fights for a first down. Shannon Garrett. That'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. A great one at Taylor Field, and lots more action ahead on CFL Live.
You're watching CFL Live, and we're at the quarter. Here's your host, James Duthie.
Welcome back. Key possession for the Stampeders as they look to close it possibly within 1. But so far all game long, the Saskatchewan defense bend but not break, bend but not break, except in the case of Jeff Garcia's nose, they broke. But continually a good effort by the Riders.
Well, this game is far from over, James, but you had to be impressed by Saskatchewan. Jim Daly had this football team ready to play. There's no doubt about that. Offensively, they've used motion, they've used formation, they've had Calgary confused, and defensively, you've seen effort and aggression, in particular number 22, Mario Smith. I think it's very important for Calgary to get 7 on this series, though, Chris.
Well, Eric, like you said, far from over, but still, I think Saskatchewan's going to need a break. They're going to have to create a break. They need a big-time interception for a touchdown, a fumble return for a touchdown. That opening series in the 3rd quarter was 2 and out for Saskatchewan. Calgary drove the entire length of the field, only got a field goal. That's not that bad, but there's been a shift. I mean, Calgary's executing right now. They're sustaining the drives. They're mixing up plays. They're starting to take the game over physically. Saskatchewan needs a break to win, James.
Now, if you missed it, yes, there was one other little story going on in sports today. You might have heard of the guy, Mark McGuire. Did it again. 2 more homers today, give him 70 to finish the season. An unbelievable record. Of course, we'll bring you more on that story throughout the evening. For now, let's get back to the 4th quarter of our game. Here's John and Glenn.
We're having a great time at Taylor Field, as usual. Great crowd on hand, a perfect afternoon. Saskatchewan has played well. Stampeders have an opportunity to get right back into this, and let's bring in Ray Morrison with the injury reports.
Thanks a lot. One fella it's not a great afternoon for, John, is Vince Danielson. He's done for the day. He says he went to make a break on his right knee and took a pop with a helmet on the outside of the leg, and he's done for the afternoon. So the Riders may have an advantage there as far as the Calgary Stampeder inside the receiver spot is concerned there. Back to you.
All right, Ray. Alan Pitts is having another fine day, closing in on 1,000 yards again. 255 passing yards for the Stampeders. Stampeders have really come on in the 3rd quarter with a time of possession of 10-20.
Yeah, Big third quarter. Dave Dickinson is chewing up that clock.
1st and 10, Calgary at the Rider 19. Dickinson had Pitts. He couldn't make the catch. Shannon Garrett was with him.
You don't see that very often. Number 18 dropped one that hits him in the hands. That's one of the battles.
There's been a super drive for Calgary. It began back at the 35. 2nd and 10, Stampeders. Dickinson shotgun. Won't get it away. Paul Spicer, first CFL sack. Fourth sack of the afternoon for Saskatchewan.
Paul Spicer, we talked about the fatigue factor. Well, he sucked it up on this play. Good spin move on Rocco Romano. Dave Dickinson's looking downfield, really doesn't have anyone open, so he has to hold on to the ball. Spin move by Paul Spicer gets him home, and a big sack for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Again, the Stampeders are forced into a field goal try. This from 33 yards. McLaughlin good on 3 of 4. And he's got one more. Calgary claws back to within 5 points.
It's got to get there.
You expect to drive your Toyota for a long time. But servicing is key. Some mechanics know a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But a little bit of knowledge can be a dangerous thing. Only Toyota Quality Service guarantees the work is done right by the time promised at the price quoted. They've even put their name on it. Just look for this Quality Service pledge only at your Toyota retailer.
Toyota Quality Service, the one to trust.
Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you have won Fill-A-Shave with Reflex Action. It adapts comfortably to the contours of your face. Closer contact for a closer shave. Fill-A-Shave from Philips, our closest shave ever. Or the Business Navigator Personal Organizer from Casio with PC synchronization software and large 1 megabyte anti-loss memory. The BN10 packs so much power, it's like having a PC in your pocket. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway Food and Drug today.
What a great afternoon at Taylor Field. It's almost October and the hot tub's open.
The hot tub's a hot tub, yeah. Not a bad place to watch a football game.
Riders have a first down beginning at the 35 after the Calgary field goal. Slack seemed to be a little confused, but turns it into positive yardage. Was he confused there, or?
No, he
just faked me out.
He just took what he could get on the play. And you know what he has to do is go back to what has got him here so far, back to Don Narcisse, and get him the football. Don Narcisse, I mean, we've talked about what he's done this season, but he is also a huge community person. He's got a program right now called Catch for Kids. He raises money every catch he makes.
That'll be enough for Saskatchewan first down. Sean Daniels.
Don Narcisse, he makes a little bit of money every time he makes a catch, and it goes to underprivileged kids and the sports program so they can get equipment. And the other part of that program is that every home game in Saskatchewan, Don Narcisse will bus in 45 kids who would never be able to see a football game. They get to see the game. They come from all over the province, and then they get to meet Don Narcisse afterwards. Guy does a tremendous amount of work in the community.
First down, Saskatchewan from the 50. Slack really wants to score on this drive. He goes long and a little too long.
And there's
Mike
the matchup.
Saunders.
There's the matchup, John, we've been talking about. Darryl Hall on Mike Saunders, and again, Hall is right in Saunders' pocket, and this time he had a little bit of help from the safety, Dave Van Bellingham. You see Van Bellingham coming over, but there's no way that ball had much room to get in there with Darryl Hall right beside Mike Saunders.
2nd and 10, Riders. Saskatchewan looking for victory number 4. .12:13 to go, 4th quarter. On 2nd and 10, Slack from the shotgun, had Mayfield. Couldn't hang on.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they rule this. I mean, didn't look like he had possession of the ball at all. I think they're ruling it as an incompletion, and that's how it should be, I believe. I mean, here's the pass right here. Another look at it. I don't know that Curtis Mayfield had possession of that football at all before Eddie Davis hit him. No, he never had possession.
Third and 17.
3rd and 17, a loss of 7, so they are calling it a catch, Glenn, and a recovery by Saskatchewan.
Wow, they did call it a catch. That amazes me.
Didn't appear that he had control of the football. Here's McCallum's kick. It's not deep. Taken by Coleman on the dead run. This could be a big one. Coleman out to the 52-yard line and dropped there. Darren Joseph. Here's the game story brought to you by Keg. Take over, partner.
Well, each team has picked up 3 turnovers. This time the Riders have capitalized on those turnovers. That's why they have the slim lead. Pitts hitting the 12,000 career yard mark. And you know what? We haven't heard the last of him yet in this football game. Garcia was injured. He has a broken nose and has been on the sideline. And Calvin Anderson, 134 yards of offense. You know he's the key in this Calgary offensive scheme.
Game story brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends. See you tonight. Dickinson wrapped up and down. Big play by the Saskatchewan defense. It has really come out firing today. That's been a problem at Taylor Field and everywhere the green and white have played this year, but the defense has been solid today, and that's Ernie Brown involved in there.
Ernie Brown is the guy who's going to get the sack, and you know what? Eric Sutton, the corner for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, is going to have to go up and thank Ernie Brown personally when he watches the game film, because Terry Vaughn did an out and up and was 6 yards behind Eric Sutton. That's where Dave Dickinson was looking, and thanks to Ernie Brown, who is still on the field, Dickinson couldn't deliver the ball.
Second sack of the day for Ernie Brown, who's shaken up down there at the 45-yard line.
You can only run the out and up once a game to have success with it, because after that the defensive backs are going to be aware of it. But Terry Vaughn was open. It works together. The defensive backs rely on the pass rush, and right now Dickinson sees Terry Vaughn open. There's the fake on the out, but he can't deliver the football, and he's, you know, he is frustrated. He's getting pulled to the ground because he knew Terry Vaughn was wide open.
He is another ex-Stampeder. 7 career sacks coming into this game. 2 today for Ernie Brown. 10:58 to go to full time. Saskatchewan on top by 5. I don't think that's going to be enough for a victory here.
No way.
Riders will have to score again. How about the Stampeders? Not a touchdown thus far. Dickinson, shotgun, airing it out, Pitts the target. Good coverage by Ulmer. Terrell Ulmer got a hand in there at exactly the right moment.
He did, and it was the right moment because he got caught to the wrong side of Alan Pitts. What he wants to do is stay inside position, but Pitts gets to the outside. Dickinson sees that and tries to throw it down the middle, and then watch the timing by Ulmer to get that hand in there. Boy, I tell you what, you can't time it any better than that from a defensive back point of view. You got your eyes on the football, time your jump, and then get that hand in there, or Alan Pitts has another big gain.
Won't matter, Glenn. Riders were offside. Dwayne Patterson. So this is 2nd and 10. Big heat on Dickinson, another hit, and the ball falls to the turf. Deflected by Spicer. And the Calgary quarterbacks are paying today.
Paul Spicer is the guy who's eventually going to get this hand on this football. He gets stoned at the top of your line from Rocco Romano and then falls underneath. The pressure comes from the inside from Andrew Stewart. Paul Spicer who gets his hand on it.
Give Colin Scrivener a little credit for getting to the quarterback there, too. Martino is in. Great ball game at Taylor Field on CFL Live. Riders on top by 5. Martino tries to angle it away. This is Curtis Mayfield, and there was no running room down the sideline there. 6 yards on the return and lots more ahead at Taylor Field today.
And now, another TSN Sports Break.
It has been an incredible season for Mark McGuire. He wrapped things up with 2 more today, number 69 and number 70. Here's how number 70 looked and sounded.
3rd, 2 out. Into the field! Number 70! How much more can you give us, Big Mac? Number 70!
I'm like in awe of myself right now. But you know what? I mean, if you can put your mind to something, it will happen.
And the National League wild card will be decided in a playoff game between the Cubs and the Giants tomorrow night here on TSN, 8 Eastern Time.
Great time here today. It's been a superb weekend in the CFL. Overall standings looking like this with the Ticats on top because of a tie. Calgary hanging right there. Montreal 8-4-1. And here are some key stories here. Caught you there.
Yeah, well, okay. You get the top half, and then this is the bottom half.
Okay, circle wherever you want here.
Well, I mean, after the big win, BC's got the 4. That's why now Saskatchewan, in order to keep pace, has to win here this afternoon. And now Winnipeg all of a sudden isn't out of the picture.
Reggie Slack has a strike on the far side. Dan Farthing makes the catch. He hasn't been very busy this afternoon. His 3rd catch, that for 7 yards.
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week. Dan Farthing, unfortunately, has been on the wrong side of Reggie Slack's set. Reggie Slack has been predominantly right-handed throughout the season with Don Narcisse and Curtis Mayfield on the right side of the formation. Fortunately for Dan Farthing, he's been on the left and hasn't seen as many footballs.
2nd and 3, Saskatchewan at the 35. Here comes the heat. Slack had to unload, and there's markers down in the secondary and along the line of scrimmage as well. 2 penalty flags down.
Well, the first question will be, was a receiver in the vicinity when he threw that ball? And the second one is, did it cross the line of scrimmage? So they'll have to sort that out and make sure. That's if it's against Saskatchewan.
Well, there could be a penalty against each team here.
That's right.
Holding, Saskatchewan number 59. Illegal contact on an eligible receiver, Calgary 21. Repeat the down.
One each way seems fair enough to me. 9:05 to play.
Let's load up and do it all over again.
It'll be 2nd and 3 again. Wally Buono on a 3-game winning streak. Saskatchewan Roughriders trying to end a long losing skid. 8 losses in the last 9 games. Slack has enough for the first down. He runs like a fullback.
Well, he's definitely as strong as a fullback, John, when he's running in the open field. He's got good feet and good movement, but he has tremendous leg strength. The only thing he does a little differently than a fullback would is the way he carries the football.
Absolutely.
See it out there in the right hand, swinging wild? A fullback wouldn't do that very often, but he hangs on and picks up the necessary yardage.
But a fullback puts his shoulders down and his head down and bowls his way through for a little extra. And that's what Slack does. Leading rusher among quarterbacks in the CFL this year. Riders keep it on the ground. That's Chris Zarka, 33. 5 yards there.
Think back to the first half of the game when Cal Murphy threw in a nice play to Chris Zarka on the screen. Yards rushing, 2nd in the league. You saw in that statistic, 106 yards per game. He's got a nice mix going right now with Chris Zarka, Mike Saunders, and Reggie Slack running the ball.
Was that the play that fooled me completely?
That's the one that got us.
Snuck 33 into the ball game.
They snuck him in and got him the football. It was a big gain.
Great play. 2nd and 5. Slack has another first down. Mike Saunders makes a nice catch. Darryl Hall caught him from behind. Saunders inside the 50.
Well, okay, you get me once, but I'm going to get you once too. This is Mike Saunders coming right across from the right of your screen. Gets about 3-yard separation between him and Darryl Hall. Hall's had a pretty good game against Saunders when he's been out in one-on-one matchups and coverage. But this time, give one to Saunders. I got the score about 4-3 Hall at this point.
Saunders, 82 in the first half, just 15 in the second. But there have been key yards on that last play on the reception there. Slight delay. Dale Joseph carried the ball this time, and he's got about 4.
Yeah, Darren Joseph is the guy.
Joseph, I should say.
Yeah, he's the guy who's replaced Saunders when he's been injured. We talked about Corey Philpott being around. They're going to try and get them both on the roster for next week, and if Saunders is hurt down the stretch, then it will be Corey Philpott that will come in. Darren Joseph has had some troubles with fumbles, but he is capable. Of course, he started back in Ottawa and had some success as a starter.
7th play of this drive, beginning back at the Saskatchewan 25. Farthing made the catch. It'll be another first down. The Riders have not played this well for a long time.
No, they definitely prepared to play in this game. Cal Murphy's got a good offensive game plan together for this one. Wally Buono is really just actually fortunate to be this close in the football game. He's had some mistakes offensively. His starting quarterback has a broken nose and is on the bench. Well, that's unconfirmed, but it didn't look good. And he's been struggling. Stay close here.
Another Saskatchewan first down to keep the drive alive at the Calgary 40. Slack exercising his option, and he is inside the 30-yard line, down to about the 27. Another 14 yards for Reggie Slack. He loves to run.
Well, and he runs this play better than any quarterback in the game right now. It's the old quarterback option. You don't see it very often, but he runs it so effectively because of his strength. Because everyone is stretched out, they're forced into trying to arm tackle Reggie Slack. You can't arm tackle a guy that is that strong. A lot of people don't like to run the quarterback option because your quarterback often takes a big hit. Slack hasn't really been hit hard yet in this game.
Rushing a big part of Saskatchewan's success today. And Zarka gets another call. On first down, he's down to about the 19 with 6 more.
Well, rushing has been a big part, John, and so has their first down conversions, because right now they're doing a nice job on first down. When I say conversion, you want to get 3, 4, 5, or 6 yards. Up in the 5 and 6 is when you convert on first down. That gets you in a second and short situation, and Jim Daly has had success on first down.
Well, the Riders are closing in on 150 yards rushing against this Calgary defense. One more along the ground. Reggie Slack has 19 more.
Great play-action fake by Slack right there. All the defenders are going to rush into the left and think that Zarka has the ball. See Steve Anderson go in there to take the tackle. Great fake. Slack takes it, and Darryl Hall reacts real late and holds him just out of the end zone. But when you can have that good success in the middle line with your fullback, they'll have to respect the fake. And that time, that defensive line got sucked right in there.
7th carry for 72 yards as Slack sets the Rough Riders up at the 1 and scores from there. There's a marker down, but they signal touchdown Saskatchewan.
According to Mike Saunders, it's against Calgary.
You think the fans here don't know that?
Well, the cannon likely means it's good.
That makes it official. Right?
That makes it official when they shoot the cannon. The Reggie Slack running drive. Throughout that drive, it was the Saskatchewan running game and Reggie Slack that made it happen.
The Riders have an opportunity for victory now. 3:15 to go. Saskatchewan on top, 27-15. Don't forget, folks, they're playing the Stampeders. Slack into the end zone for one more.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win, and you could win $1 million. Or a Samsung Hi8 stereo camcorder, the Dirt Devil MVP Swivel Glide and Ultra Handbag, a VTech digital cordless phone, Fill a shave with reflex action from Philips, or win a vacation trip for two to the VS Vallarta Hotel via Air Transat, courtesy of World of Vacations, Canada's #1 tour operator to the sun. Look for Sunkist, not from concentrate juice, Vicks Pickles. Now there's a million more reasons to shop at Safeway, today's better way.
Psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff. Symptom, persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution, Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
No one can match their numbers. No one else has the tools to keep your Toyota running its absolute best. For the finest care, see only your Toyota retailer. Toyota Quality Service, the one to trust.
The Fall Wood Pro Sale from Steel. Save right now on selected Steel chainsaws starting at just $299.95 and get a Wood Pro kit valued at over $75 absolutely free. Steel, built to last, priced to sell.
Reggie Slack may be the best 3-9 quarterback in the history of the CFL. He's put up some great numbers this year, and his team really hasn't responded behind him defensively in particular, but he's had a whale of a day here today.
Yeah, another great day for Reggie Slack. And, you know, I would go so far to say that Reggie Slack has taken the next step and has become one of the great quarterbacks in the league. He has fought his way to that spot, and he's really having a tremendous year, like you mentioned, John.
Here's Coleman on the return for Calgary. Could be a nice one. Out to about the 45, and that's where the Stampeders begin. They're in arrears. 12 points to the Saskatchewan Roughriders at Taylor Field. 3:09 on the clock and lots of football left. What a great scoring drive here.
Yeah, the key play being Slack's running, including that option play to Reggie Slack. It was a tremendous fake. He gets Steve Anderson sucked right down in there on Chris Zarka. Watch Steve Anderson go and tackle 33, and that opens up the outside. Big play by Slack. That set up the touchdown.
He got down to the 1-yard line and took it in himself from there. Dickinson on first down, Calgary. He has another one. Terry Vaughn just across midfield makes the catch. That last drive for Saskatchewan, 6:47 it took. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for an ATV with a fully independent suspension up front and a semi-independent suspension in back, one with more suspension travel, more ground clearance, more cargo capacity and torque,
should come to mind. Arctic Cat, a whole different animal. Hurry, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 90 days.
What do I want from someone? Honesty, generosity, kindness. I mean, somebody who laughs at my jokes. Independence. I mean, I want somebody who doesn't need me. I mean, somebody who really, really wants me, but doesn't need me. I mean, desire's about what you want, not what you need.
Contradiction from Men, a new fragrance from Calvin Klein. At the Bay.
When it comes to really getting out there, we can help you find your own private wilderness. Walking, hiking, and trekking. We're Sorel. We make the footgear to take you there. Comfortable, built to last, by people who understand what you're looking for. Sorel. Rugged, Canadian, original.
No question which coach needs this victory more. Wally Buono has 9 on the season. Jim Daly just 3. The Riders are really desperate to hang on here. And the Stampeders, Glenn, need 2 touchdowns to beat them right now. Dickinson. There was a little miscue over there.
Well, Terry Vaughn was, according to Dave Dickinson, supposed to run the out pattern. He went down the field. They didn't hook up on the sideline. And Terry Vaughn, this looked like a throw behind. It's Terry Vaughn's up at the top of your screen there. He's going to fake to the out and keep going down the field. Dickinson throws it to the out as you see the ball bounced all by itself over there by the sideline.
2nd down, 10 to go, Stampeders right at midfield. Dickinson has time, and he has his receiver. Terry Vaughn made the catch. McMillan the tackle. He had Eric Sutton in the area as well covering. The gain is 18.
The front 4 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders cannot think that this one's in the bag, because Dave Dickinson could have had a coffee in the pocket on that last play.
There was no pressure at all, and he picks up 18 on 2nd and 10. Now it's 1st and 10. Dickinson goes to Pitts, no catch. Shannon Garrett has had a nice ball game, hasn't he?
You know, he came into the game, John, leading the team in tackles, and that's not because teams have picked on Shannon Garrett. He's just having a great year. He's been involved physically on the run stopping and also in the open field tackling, and today he has had a tremendous game matched up against one of the all-time best in CFL history in Alan Pitts.
Another 2nd and long situation facing the Stampeders, and the clock is Calgary's enemy right now. 2:26 left. Stamps have to score 2 touchdowns to win this thing. Dickinson has Vaughn. Critical 1st down, Calgary. Todd McMillan made the tackle.
Good players make big plays when it means most, and Wally Buono knows that Terry Vaughn is a good football player, in fact a great football player. With Todd McMillan on his back, he comes up with a huge catch to keep this drive alive. When it means most, your great players will step up.
9th catch for Vaughn. He has 99. 1st down, Calgary. Dickinson pumps and has another 1st down. Andre Arlane into the game, making his 1st catch of the day.
Well, Travis Moore got the start, but you know he's a little banged up. He's also in the football game at this point. They're going with 6 and 5 and 6 receivers, trying to spread out the Saskatchewan defense, and that means Arlane gets a little bit of work, and so will Aubrey Cummings, the other rookie.
Injured Rough Rider being taken care of down near the 20-yard line. They measure it, and it will be another Stampeder 1st down. 2:06 remaining in the ball game.
You know what I love? You take a look at George Cortez, the offensive coordinator right there. They have their meeting with the 3 quarterbacks. He is completely calm. I mean, George Cortez has been in this situation before. He knows the firepower he has on offense. Calmly over there, we'll discuss things with Dave Dickinson, get some input from Jeff Garcia, and then they'll go and execute the play. There is no sense of panic.
Sorry. More football ahead tonight. It's prime time coming up next. We'll get you set for the NFL Sunday Nighter on TSN.
Well, another great crowd here at Taylor Field, boy. Over 25,000 tickets sold for this one, and
Andrew Stewart just got back into the Saskatchewan lineup, and he's now heading to the sidelines, shaken up on the last play. He's made a pretty big difference to Saskatchewan's defense this afternoon.
yeah, but with him out of the game now, they'll likely have to move Gary Rogers back up to the defensive line.
Stampeders down by 12. We're looking at 1st and goal to go at the Saskatchewan 8. Calgary looking for its first touchdown of the afternoon. Play whistled in at Taylor Field. Dickinson at the controls. There it is. Touchdown, Alan Pitts.
Well, it's huge for a bunch of reasons. Number one is it gives Calgary a chance in this football game, and of course that's the most important to them, to Alan Pitts and to Dave Dickinson right now. But number two, it puts Alan Pitts that much closer to Brian Kelly's record.
96 career touchdowns in his 9 years as a member of the Calgary Stampeders. Brian Kelly has 97.
And there's still time.
Well, there's time today. There's definitely
That's
time
what I'm talking about.
to catch Kelly, but there's 2 minutes left on the clock. And all of a sudden, the Calgary Stampeders have an opportunity to win.
Now, this is where the good teams take the football, drive it down, and kill the rest of the clock. If the thing was reversed right now and Calgary had the lead, they would be thinking that way. Now, Saskatchewan has to think about doing that right here. A great play and a great read by Dave Dickinson to pick up Pitts. He knew he had some pressure. He's going to call the audible at the line of scrimmage, kind of look off any safety help. Gary Rogers coming on the blitz. Can't get there. Pitts gets inside position on Shannon Garrett. Boy, that has been a fight from start to finish, and he comes up with a big play. And yeah, it's pretty pumped up for Dickinson, who sees the read, gets the big eyes when he sees his #1 target wide open over the middle. Nice easy throw. Pitts fights off Shannon Garrett to come up with it. You know, this battle we've talked about all game. Here it is, right in here. And watch how he gets inside position on Shannon Garrett. You got to seal the inside, but that little outside fake gets Alan Pitts to the inside, and then Garrett can't get around to knock it down.
It's a 5-point game again, thanks to Alan Pitts. 6 catches for 75 yards. He's over 1,000 yards for the 7th season in his 9 years in the Canadian Football League.
When you've been that productive, you need a little O2, little oxygen on the sideline to get your wind back. And you know what? Alan Pitts knows, and they have confidence over there on that Calgary sideline, that he's going to be back on the field before this one is over. Well,
he's had a great day against a great receiver. He's worried about the one that got away right now, obviously.
Well, and you know what? He was right there. Even though Pitts comes up with a touchdown, Shannon Garrett was right on his back.
Here's the Calgary kickoff. Curtis Mayfield calls for it at the 20. Well covered. Mayfield really just wanted to hang on to that football.
Well, at this point, Jim Daly has got to keep doing what he's been doing so far. This is what he wanted to do to win the football game. Pressure Garcia. He, of course, was knocked out in the 3rd quarter. Take advantage of the mistakes from the Calgary Stampeders. They picked up 3 turnovers so far this afternoon, and Mike Saunders has to run effectively and be involved in the offense. 97 yards of offense in this game, but most of that came in the first half. He needs to get more involved here in the second half and get a drive together right now.
1:55 on the clock, and what the Riders dearly need to do is take a little time off the clock. Keeping it on the ground, Slack hands off for a couple. Sean Daniels.
Well, this will be a situation that Reggie Slack hasn't seen much this afternoon, and that's a 2nd and long situation. They've run that play on 1st down a bunch, but they picked up 5 and 6 yards on it. That time the Calgary defense held them to just 2 or 3. Now Slack's looking at 2nd and long. Everyone in the park knows he has to throw the football.
It's 2nd and 7. Roughriders desperate to hang on to a victory at home today. They lead it by 5. Slack tried to take off himself, held onto the ball, but he'll have to kick it away after 2 quick plays, and there's too much time on the clock to feel comfortable at the Saskatchewan bench.
The fans don't like the call. Went back to the option. Wally Bono sent everybody, including safety Dave Van Bellingham, and it worked well for 2 reasons. One, if Slack is going to drop back and throw, you know he's going to see pressure. If he decides to run the ball like he did on this play, all the gaps will be canceled, and there's really no place for Reggie Slack to run the football because every gap up there is gone. Fans didn't like it here in Regina. They thought that Reggie Slack should have dropped back and thrown it.
What did you think?
Well, you know, I think if you're going to run the football in that situation, it's got to be from a draw type situation. Make it look like you're going to throw in the draw or maybe a screen pass. But if you're just going to run the option, it's awful tough to come up with 7 or 8 yards.
1:25 to go. Stampeders have a chance to snatch a victory here. McCallum in on 3rd down, gets a high kick away. Here's Coleman at the 30. There's a marker down near the 50-yard line. 46-yard punt. 6 on the return. And Dave Dickinson, in relief of Jeff Garcia, has 1:16 on the clock.
And again, no sign of any worry in the face of Dave Dickinson.
First down.
Experienced enough to be able to run the hurry up. Replace Jeff Garcia, like you mentioned, John, who will consult with George Cortez throughout this drive. The 3 of them work together, Garcia and Dickinson and Cortez.
Penalty was against the Stampeders for holding while the ball was in the air. So Calgary has been moved back to the 20-yard line. That's where the drive will begin. 1st and 10, Calgary from there. Dickinson stands in, has a receiver open. And that'll be a Calgary 1st down. Terry Vaughn, 12 yards.
Well, I'm going back to pressure. Saskatchewan just not getting any pressure late in this 4th quarter. Dave Dickinson has been able to stand back there all day long.
We're in for a great finish at Taylor Field. Riders lead it by 5. Desperate to hang on to a victory. 1st down, Calgary. Under the cover, it's Kelvin Anderson. He's near the 40. Remember, the Stampeders need a touchdown to win.
Well, Wally Buono's on the sideline yelling in to Dave Dickinson to hurry it up. Keep the huddle moving. Get on the line of scrimmage. Call the plays on the line of scrimmage.
There's lots of time left for the Stampeders. The Riders really need a big defensive play. The heat was on. Dickinson escaped and then took a big hit. Gary Rogers, number 41.
Well, it's a huge play because coverage downfield didn't allow Dickinson to get the ball off. Again, he has time initially, but there's no one open, so he takes off. Now, Gary Rogers puts the big hit on Dickinson. That holds him short, and they're a good yard short.
3rd down. And a long yard to go, Calgary. This could be the ball game. He made the catch. It's Alan Pitts. That's the guy you go to when you need a 1st down.
I talked about the great players coming up big when it's most important.
That'll move the sticks and keep the drive alive.
No bigger than Alan Pitts right there.
33 seconds on the clock. Stampeders driving for a touchdown. They need that to win. Dickinson goes deep. It's picked off. He went too deep. Mario Smith trying to take a little time off the clock, and he's still going. Mario Smith will step out of bounds at the 50-yard line, and the Riders have their 4th victory of the season locked up. 14 seconds on the clock.
John, he has had a huge game at the free safety position. Mario Smith has come up with some big hits, but this time he showed tremendous range in pass coverage.
Dickinson clearly overthrew the ball. Smith was playing center field. There are markers down.
Objectionable conduct. Calgary number 17. First down.
It obviously is not affecting the outcome of the play. The interception stands. So does the Rough Rider possession.
Mario Smith is in the middle of the field on the snap of the football and catches this one outside the numbers, about 5 yards from the sideline. Great range. Yes, it was a ball that Dave Dickinson shouldn't have thrown. Alan Pitts was well covered. It was an overthrown pass, but if Mario Smith doesn't show great range and get all the way over there, it's no interception.
What a wonderful weekend of upsets in Canadian football. When you really think about the overall aspects of this league, well, Winnipeg victory really helps interest in that city and elsewhere in the CFL. A BC victory, the Lions really needed one. A Saskatchewan victory, so did the Rough Riders. They really needed to win here today, and they played a wonderful afternoon of football.
To me, it's been their best game I have seen from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, especially on the defensive side.
Toyota game ball here today goes to Reggie Slack, and I don't think we'll get much argument on that. He had a wonderful day, 73 yards rushing, 225 passing, and Slack really did it all.
And the honorable mention to Mario Smith.
Hey, how about that? A great afternoon at Taylor Field. They often are. It's the Riders over the Stampeders, 27-22.
Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you have won Dirt Devil MVP Swivel Glide Vacuum with patented rear swivel casters and the Ultra Hand Vac with onboard tools. Dirt Devil, powerful vacuums that are incredibly easy to use. Or a Zenith 27-inch digital-ready stereo television with 530 lines of resolution, universal night vision glow-in-the-dark remote, and SEQ front surround sound. Zenith Entertainment, just like they like it. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway Food and Drug today.
Don't forget, we'll have the wild card tiebreaker tomorrow night, San Francisco and Chicago. But up next, it's prime time. Berman and the boys. Yes, more football is on the way. Enjoy it, everybody. Thanks for watching our game. Have a great Sunday evening.